Hello, everybody, and welcome to Warrensburg, Missouri. We're on the campus of UCM, the University of Central Missouri. We're at Walton Stadium, and we're ready for your Harrisonville Wildcats and the Warrensburg Tigers as they do battle this year. Warrensburg got the best of the Wildcats two different times last year. The first time 49-0 at home in conference play. Cats almost got them for the district championship down here in November. First time the Cats had not won a district in 6 years. So, Gary, I think maybe a little bit of revenge is on the mind of the Wildcats tonight.
I would think so. I mean, the 49-0 was kind of a thrashing, but and I wasn't able to make it to the game down here, the second game they played, but we got to see a little bit of the first half and saw how well they played against them that second time. And I think you're going to see that play continue from last year on in. You know, we had some major injuries in the first half of that playoff game, and so look forward to having some of those players back. We've still got a few injuries, but I look forward to progress from where we were last year.
We will see what happens tonight. It's your pregame show brought to you by Sherwood Community Bank. Stop in today and set up an account and take advantage of free internet banking. You know, the big story tonight's going to be who is the quarterback going to be of the Wildcats. And I don't know that we really know yet. We've gotten conflicting reports. Talked to a couple of folks during the week. I didn't talk to a coach. Talked to a player, and he was like, "Oh yeah," he's like, "I don't know if River's going to play." He's thought that it was going to be Espen. However, River has been out there warming up all night with the team as well. So it'll be interesting to see who they have out there at the quarterback position. The good news is, if it is the freshman Espen Glenn, everybody's not going to be freaking out because he's done well in that spot.
Yeah, and I want to see him continue to thrive at that. A lot of times when you come off such a game as he did last Friday night, you kind of have a little bit of a backstep a little bit. One of those things that they were talking about Patrick Mahomes, you know, coming off a season last year. Well, there's no way he can continue that. You know, obviously Espen came out off a very good game last week, and you want to see him progress from that and at least stay at that caliber or a little bit better. I was talking to one of the coaches before just a little bit ago, and, you know, that throw that he made in the corner of the end zone, that is what he typically likes to do as a freshman. He likes to do the role, and so therefore now understanding that's not as big a surprise. It was still an excellent throw, great communication with his receivers and positioning players and stuff. But I want to see him continue to have positive confidence, because that's could make a big difference in the years going forward from here. And it's only, as I talked into Coach Schenker, it's only going to make both of them better. Whoever turns out to be the quarterback out of this, we don't want a controversy. You want both both young men competing at a level where they're going to support each other but also make them better. And that's the other thing I think is going to come out of this.
Well, and the thing I'm going to be interested to see tonight, you know, last week we had 4-0 versus 0-4. We talked about it. We talked about the schedule. But it's who you've played. Harrisonville, obviously, everybody, we've been pounding the drum of how hard their schedule's been all year. But again, this week we got 1-4 versus 5-0. But if you roll down the list of the opponents, Lift for Life, Marshall, Smith Cotton, Clinton, and P. Hill, no disrespect to any of those 5 teams, but that schedule does not make you quake in your boots the way the Harrisonville schedule has.
A Columbia Battle or a state championship team from up there by the Iowa line, you know, that I don't like to mention their names, but they bring competition to us, which therefore makes us better, or that's what we want to see happen. You don't want to see confidence. You don't want to see confidence go down, but anyway, it's important. Sorry, I'm a little bit distracted. I can't do two. My wife tells me I can't do more than one thing at a time. So, anyway, we want to play the better teams to hopefully make us better, and I think that's what you're talking about here. And who cares how you were at the first 4 games of the year? It's again not how you are in September, but it's how you are in November, and not how you start, but how you finish.
Right, and you know my mantra. I've always said it. You don't win trophies in September. You win them in November, and that's what the Cats want to do. We're in our second season right now, 0-4 in the preseason, so to speak. Now it's conference season. 5 conference games in a row. And these 5 conference games are huge as well because some of them are also your district opponents, and that can go a long ways in finding your seating in district. Right now, the district is jumbled up. If you look at the district from top to bottom, Warrensburg is on top of the district standings. But right below there's a lot of 2 and 3 and 1 and 4 type of teams, or 2 and 2, 1 and 4, or whatever it is. But they're just right there. It's right there for the picking to be able to get up to maybe second or third, or even higher. I think right now the class, so to speak, of the district would probably be Green Valley. They've got a couple of solid wins under their belt. They play in a big conference. They play in that suburban conference. So we'll see. We got a lot of football left to be played. We've got 4 more conference games and then districts hits after that. So it'll be interesting to see how we go tonight. It's our pregame show right now, brought to you by Sherwood Community Bank. Stop in, set up an account, take advantage of free internet banking. We're going to take a timeout. We'll be back with some keys to the game, starting lineups, and more on your pregame show after this.
Does your lawn need some TLC? Owned and operated by 3 generations of Wildcats, Held's Turf Farm is your local stop for sod and topsoil since 1971. Whether you need 1 roll of sod, 1 scoop of dirt, or a whole truckload, we have you covered. A new home in your future? Give us a call at 816-540-2020 and set up a quote for new sod installation. Held's Turf Farm is located between Harrisonville and Pleasant Hill and is open 8 to 5 weekdays and 8 to noon on Saturdays.
We've all been there before. Needed to deposit a check in our account but nowhere near our bank. That's where Hawthorne's Bank's mobile banking comes in. Simply open your mobile banking app, take a picture of the check, and presto, the check's been deposited. Hawthorne Bank has the big bank convenience with small town roots. So if you want a friendly, quick, and convenient service in a hometown bank, go see our friends at Hawthorne Bank next to Troby's on Plaza Drive.
Every team has the same characteristics, including having each other's back. That's the motto the team at Schroeder Chiropractic lives by. With 2 chiropractors, 3 therapists, and an amazing office staff, they got your back. They will take care of your aches and pains and have you feeling like new in a warm, family-friendly environment. Schroeder Chiropractic has the community's back as well, being actively involved in bright futures in Harrisonville youth sports. Whether it's aches and pains or getting involved in the community, Schroeder Chiropractic has your back.
This is Gary Davidson, and if you're looking for an honest, reliable heating and cooling company, look to where I look, Sherwood Heating and Cooling. Owner David Vogt has 25 years of industry experience and has been in business the last 10 years in Garden City. They are a Carrier equipment dealer and can provide ductwork, design communicating equipment, and thermostats for new homes. Not to mention servicing all makes and models of furnaces and air conditioners in the Bates, Cass, and Henry County area. Whether you're looking to upgrade to a more efficient equipment like me or need something repaired, give Sherwood Heating and Cooling a call at 816-862-6610.
There is no better way to get in touch with other business owners and potential clients than joining the Harrisonville Area Chamber of Commerce. Come to monthly networking events and grow your business and make new friends. The Chamber is booking now for booths at the Log Cabin Festival October 4th and 5th. So give Bing and the staff a call today and get signed up for all the fun. 816-380-5271. Every broadcast team has to look good. The 4T's crew is no different. That's why we trust C-Squared Embroidery and Screen Printing to outfit us for each broadcast. Offering full-service screen printing, embroidery, promotional products, banners, and more, they can take care of you. When you're looking for a company to make that next shirt, stop looking and call C-Squared Embroidery and Screen Printing at 660-885-2447 or find them on Facebook or Instagram. There is no better way to get in touch with other business owners and potential clients than joining the Harrisonville Area Chamber of Commerce. Come to monthly networking events and grow your business and make new friends. The Chamber is booking now for booths at the Log Cabin Festival October 4th and 5th. So give Bing and the staff a call today and get signed up for all the fun. 816-380-5271.
Bank, we've got good news for you. Harrisonville's newest event space, the Uptown Event Space, is now booking for events for the holidays and next year. Located across from the Old Cass Medical Center, there's ample parking and space for your next big party, complete with private rooms for the bride and groom to get ready, a kitchen area, and a full catering available. It's time to go to Uptown and book your next event today.
Every broadcast team has to look good. The 4T's crew is no different. That's why we trust C-Squared Embroidery and Screen Printing to outfit us for each broadcast. Offering full-service screen printing, embroidery, promotional products, banners, and more, they can take care of you. When you're looking for a company to make that next shirt, stop looking and call C-Squared Embroidery and Screen Printing at 660-885-2447 or find them on Facebook or Instagram.
Buying a house is a full-time job in itself. Why not take the work out of finding your dream home? Go see Carol Looney and her staff at American Heritage Realtors today. Locally owned and members of the community, American Heritage is sure to help you find everything you need in a new home. With insight to local schools, parks, and neighborhoods, they'll match you with everything you want for your dream home. So when the time comes to buy or sell, call American Heritage Realtors at 816-380-6161 or visit them today online at americanheritage-realtors.com. It's important to have a local bank. Sherwood Community Bank is the area's only locally owned bank. It's nice when your local bank is also up with the times and provides you with internet banking and a mobile banking app. We are all so busy, so sometimes being able to jump online or use an app to transfer funds at the click of a button is the easiest way to bank. So go to one of Sherwood Bank's 4 convenient locations in Urick, Creighton, Garden City, or Harrisonville and set up an account today.
And don't forget to download the Sherwood Bank app.
Want the best deal from the best dealership? Max Motors Ford, right in Harrisonville, Missouri. We make deals the others won't. More for your trade, less for your new one. Worth the drive from anywhere. We will beat any competitor's offer on a new vehicle by $500 or give you $500 and a tank of gas. With a great selection of over 800 vehicles priced at or below dealer cost. Come see why Max Ford in Harrisonville is the easiest place to buy a car. Visit us at the corner of 71 and 291 highways or shop maxford.com. Proud to sponsor our Harrisonville Wildcats.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Warrensburg, Missouri. We're on the campus of the University of Central Missouri, Walton Stadium. Your Harrisonville Wildcats set to take on the Warrensburg Tigers. It is our pregame show brought to you by our friends at Sherwood Community Bank. Stop in and set up an account today and sign up for free internet checking. I got Gary Davidson next to me here, Gary, and it's about time to go over some keys to the game. We were talking about this a little bit earlier. Gary was making fun of me a little bit ago because of my keys to the game. Key number 1 for me tonight is pop the bubble. I don't know if anybody remembers last year, they did a lot of bubble screens to either wide receivers or running backs over on the sidelines to get them in space and to get them running downhill. They scored on 2 or 3 long plays at doing that last year. So for me, they've got to contain Miles more, and they got to pop that bubble.
Yeah, and as I was looking through stats, so we came back on the air, I mean, we really didn't have many plays last year. I mean, a lot of 3-and-outs and 4-and-outs, but also they didn't have any long drives. I mean, they were pretty well short drives, a lot like what you just said. They may have covered 86 yards. I'm sorry, that wasn't them. 63 yards, 35 yards, 92 yards, 76 yards. But there wasn't many plays to be had with that. And so that's what you're talking about is that backside, a lot of times the backside screen, bubble screen, what do you want to call it? They went for a lot of yardage, and we weren't able to contain it. Hopefully we are looking for that because obviously he's back this year.
Well, and you got Miles Moore. That's who you got to stop. He's got over 600 yards rushing. He's at 300 yards receiving. To say he's their lead guy is probably an understatement. Almost 1,000 total yards, and we're just 5 weeks into the season. So that's your guy. You got to stop him. You slow him down, they may have trouble. They haven't had another guy really step up. Pitzenbarger obviously has had some yards. They said they ran him quite a bit against Pleasant Hill last week. So, was that we want to act like we're not going to run him so that on film they got Pitzenbarger? You never know what it is. Coaches, kind of corny sometimes of their thought processes. We know this as a matter of fact.
And talking to Shinker before the game, he's turned into a head coach and things like that. So I totally understand.
Yeah, absolutely. So key number 2 for me, we're playing with house money. There's no pressure on the Harrisonville Wildcats. They're 1-4, 1-0 in conference. Warrensburg's 5-0. All the pressure's on Warrensburg tonight. Harrisonville, they can play loose. They can have fun. I don't know who thinks if they're going to be in the game or what, if they're going to have competition tonight or be a competition to Warrensburg, but they're playing with house money. They just got to go out and have fun and play loose.
Well, and I think last week is going to help that happen for them. Had they come into this game 0-5 and Warrensburg was 5-0, it would have been a little bit different story. But they've come off a win. Both teams came off a win from last week, but we came off an imperative win to get our season going the right direction. And we have been playing more difficult teams. Sometimes you when you get beat up in the first of the season, you maybe want to start losing confidence. Didn't want to see that happen. We didn't seem to do that last week. And I think the house money we're playing with a lot of house money this week, and I think it should be very beneficial and easy for them to move forward into this game.
Well, yeah, and you get a victory tonight. You're 2-0 in conference. You're kind of in the driver's seat. Warrensburg was up towards the top of the conference with Odessa last year, so you got two very winnable games after this one with Oak Grove and Pleasant Hill. Next thing you know, you could be looking at. Obviously, you don't want to look that far ahead, but you could be looking at 4-4 playing for a conference title, the last game of the regular season against Odessa. So a lot of football to be played.
That reminded me again of Coach Schinker and his becoming head coach style. I said, what do you think about Warrensburg tonight? And he said, this is the best team we're going to play tonight. That was his comment to me, which is true. But
he's been listening to Andy Reid because that's a lot about what Andy Reid says every week that he goes out there. They could be playing a middle school team, and Andy Reid's going to come out and say, they throw the ball well, they pass the ball well, they do all this stuff well. Last key for me, no trips to the principal's office. And, you got to stay out of trouble. You got to limit the turnovers. You got to limit the penalties. If you can do that, you got a good shot at winning the football game.
Well, I think we did a good job of that last week. I mean, obviously, depending on who starts is going to depend, as far as the style, as far as what probably we're going to do as far as offensively. But Espen came out and played a very good game last week, but he did make some freshman mistakes. Totally expected. I mean, and so he's going to learn from those mistakes because those mistakes, when you're able to accomplish a win after those mistakes, are going to make you tremendously better. Because if you don't make those, then you're never going to have anything to learn from. He made some mistakes he's going to be able to learn from this week. And so if he starts, he's going to be better at the position. If River Riley comes back and starts, then he is going to continue with, I think the success that he saw towards the end of the year last year. It's hard to compare, his play at the beginning of the year against some of the teams we were playing.
Well, and not only that, River hasn't had his full assortment of weapons either, so it'll be interesting to see. River's probably thinking, I want to get back out there. I got all my receivers back. I can toss the ball around the yard a little bit. So it'll be interesting to see. Limit the mistakes, pop the bubble, play with house money. You're going to get a win tonight.
Yeah, don't go to the principal's office, as we were talking about. A couple other things. So we know Trevor Campbell's out again this week. Atkinson's going to have limited play. He's not going to be playing any receiver. As far as significant issues with the team, as far as injuries and things, those are the only two that are really stand out as far as this week going into the game. And like I said, then River, depending on whether or not he stays off the field unless they just absolutely need him.
So we'll see what happens. Those are our keys to the game. It's your pregame show brought to you by Sherwood Community Bank. Stop in and set up an account and take advantage of free internet banking. We'll take a timeout. We'll be back with more on your pregame show right after this.
Atkinson Funeral Home and Cremation Services have been serving families in the area since 1929. The Atkinsons take great pride in being members of the community. They will soon graduate a fourth-generation Wildcat, and with this kind of commitment to Harrisonville, Atkinson Funeral Home will be there for you. As always, they are proud supporters of the Harrisonville Wildcats.
Hi, I'm Lacey Dom.
Hi, I'm Cameron Chenoweth with American Family Insurance.
And as I was saying before I was cut off, I'm Lacey Domnick with Shelter Insurance. As you can see, we're both competitors off the field. However, since we're Harrisonville alums, we both still love the Wildcats and this community.
So if you're looking for hometown insurance from your hometown agent, give me a call, Cameron.
No, give me a call at 816-380-2700 for a shelter insurance quote today.
Or for the best quote, give me a call at 816-380-3996 for an American Family quote. We know you have options, so we want to team up to give you the best options in insurance.
It's happened to all of us. We buy new tires and a week later we run over a nail. Good news. Buy your tire at Young's Tire and Wheel Center and you get free flat repair for the life of your tires. Have a bad tire and need a replacement but you don't want to break the bank? Young's can help you with that as well with a huge assortment of quality used tires. So when the time comes for new tires or a replacement, go to the shop that Harrisonville trusts on South Commercial, a stone's throw from Forged by Fire.
When 14 needs tires, they call Young's. Yes!
What do you look for when you're buying a used vehicle? How about honesty and integrity, along with a reliable vehicle? That's why you should turn to Steve Holland at Holland Auto Sales. Selling reliable vehicles in Harrisonville for 35 years means Holland's will be around when it's time to buy. At Holland's, you get more than a nice vehicle. You get a friend in the car business.
The where the grammars go, Holland's Auto Sales, and ask for Steve.
It's happened to all of us. We buy new tires and a week later we
Insurance doesn't have to be a bad word, especially when all the insurance you need is under one roof. Auto, commercial, life, health, farm, or crop insurance, they have you covered. With a lineup like that, they are sure to be the team covered. So instead of dreading a call to get an insurance quote, call the team that will line up with the best of them. The team at Stafford and Stafford Insurance, located on Commercial across from Holland's Auto Sales.
Event spaces come in all shapes and sizes. Finding the one that is just right can be a hassle. Not anymore. The Dickey Cottage is perfect for those extra large family gatherings, birthday parties, baby showers, and more. With a large kitchen to use, a giant dining room for everyone, and a living room area with a big screen, there is sure to be room for everyone to relax and feel right at home. So the next time you need a venue that is just right, call Sonia at 816-925-0588 and book your date today. The Dickey Cottage, the venue place.
One of the scariest things to do is to take your car to a mechanic. No reason to be scared when you have the best mechanics around right here in Harrisonville. Colby and the crew at Colby's Car Clinic are all ASE certified mechanics with the latest equipment to keep your vehicle running smoothly year in and year out. So don't be scared. Go to Colby's Car Clinic and take the fear out of getting your car fixed. Give Colby a call at 816-380-3000 or go see them in the big blue building behind O'Reilly's. There is only one place in Harrisonville that you can see every Wildcat game, home or away, on the big screen. That's at Forged by Fire. If you're unable to make the journey to the game, stop in and watch the game with fellow Wildcat fans. Check them out every other night as well during the week with nightly specials and a full menu that is sure to make your mouth water. Forged by Fire is Harrisonville's premier restaurant, and remember, it's your Friday night Wildcat headquarters before, during, and after the game.
What is greater than one? Two! That's right, now Show Me Auto Mall has two locations to serve you, one in Harrisonville and the north location in Belton. Chances are, that means the quality of used vehicle you are searching for is going to be at one of their two locations. With several financing options available, Show Me Auto Mall will get you in the vehicle you want without breaking the bank. So when it's time to trade that vehicle in, go see the gang at Show Me Auto Mall and let them show you the Show Me difference.
Booths with Amish-made jelly, new and used furniture, antiques, toys, and a little bit of everything you can think of. Harrisonville's Trade Fair Mall can be your one stop for everything. Whether it's your first time to Harrisonville or you have been here for years, the Trade Fair is definitely a see it to believe it type of place, right across the street from Sutherland's.
What is one of your most precious commodities these days? Time. With kids' events, family events, and everything in between, time is precious. So why drive hours and spend an entire day to save $20? Shop local and find your home appliances right in Harrisonville at Troby's Maytag Home Appliance Center. They deliver and can service any issues that can arise. By doing that, you're putting money right back into the community. So stop wasting family time and go see the staff that treats you like their family at Troby's Maytag Home Appliance Center on Plaza Drive, right behind Hawthorne Bank.
Well, it's football season, so that means cold weather is not far behind. It's time to drive on over to Young's Auto Repair to get your car ready for the winter. Flush the radiator, get an oil change, and make sure the heater is ready to keep your family comfortable all winter long. If something else may ail your car, bring it in. Let Young's diagnose the problem, get you back on the road. Young's Auto, across the road from Young's Tire on South Commercial Street.
Well, you wouldn't know it by the weather. Actually, you might know it by the weather as we finally got that cold snap. Fall is here. How can you tell? Red Barn Ranch opens and is open weekends through Halloween, and I just spoke with Matt last weekend. Weather kind of been killing them over the last couple of weeks, and they got approved to be open during the week as well. So that is great news for them. And remember, they have plenty of new fun out there. A new slide made from Grandpa Moreland's 1961 IH grain truck. You've probably seen that on the screen. Also, shirts, hats, hoodies available for purchase. New wagons for pumpkins means you roll up way and you're on your way. Don't forget to enter the heaviest load contest. The winner gets $150 towards Red Barn Ranch any way they want to use it. Fall means pumpkins. Fall means pumpkin patches. Fall means fun. And another place for fun is Upcycled Orchard. We've been out there before to pick some apples. They're still picking apples. You better get out there soon because they may be gone. Also, they're open weekends. They're over across the road at the farm. They're set up at the cider house from 10 to 5 and 12 to 5 on Sundays through October. They got donuts, slushies at the orchard shop, all kinds of pumpkins, fall decor, and gifts. And they got a bunch of activities over there as well. You can also book special events during the week. Check them out on Facebook at Upcycled Orchard or the Cider House page. Also have the fall farm to table dinners, so check that out as well. Upcycled Orchard, one of our great sponsors here on Harrisonville Football on 4Ts. All right, I'll bring Gary Davidson back in, talking about some of our great sponsors, Gary, and it is close to time. We have the coin toss going on, brought to you by Hawthorne Bank. Take some extra coin into Hawthorne and start a savings account today. You know, the talk is almost over, a couple of minutes away. It's homecoming for the Warrensburg Tigers tonight. You know, coaches do not like homecoming, so we will see. Something I noticed just a little bit ago as we were sitting here watching, Gary, and that is there's not a ton of numbers for Warrensburg this year.
There's not. And I'm not sure exactly. You know, I know football numbers are down nationwide, but no, there is not a whole lot of. And I can't remember what it was last year to compare.
And I just happened to glance down and look, and I was like, man, I was kind of, you always wait. Sometimes all the skill position guys are out there, and then the linemen come a little bit later, and I go, where's the rest of their guys? But not a bunch of numbers here for the Warrensburg Tigers. So we'll see what happens, and it's about football time.
And the game hasn't even been started yet, and we've already seen Laundry on the field. And he was standing. The white hat was standing over here. Nothing bad really. But all I saw was he reached down and threw the flag, and then shook hands with Warrensburg's. So I'm not sure what the flag is. I'm sure we'll hopefully find out. And as we see and watch, it looks like Harrisonville is going to be receiving. No, didn't he go receiver both? I thought he did. I think we probably won, and he waved it. I
think he meant to show that we deferred
to the second half.
Warrensburg will get the ball to start. We'll double-check that in a minute. But, again, we want to thank you for joining us for the pregame show brought to you by Sherwood Community Bank. Taking time for an account and get free internet banking. Let's run down some starters for the Wildcats on defense. You're going to be without Trevor Campbell tonight, so you'll see Carson Graff, Ethan Murray, Keegan Rowe, Brody Rogers up front rotating in. Your linebackers on the outside, Colin Carruthers and Kyron Beavers on the inside, Pesic, along with Stevenson and Jacob Poisel. And your secondary will be Braden Tarwater, Carson Crowley, Colby Knowles, and Sean Carruthers. And expect to also be seeing a lot of Bryce Percival and Norris Vance in there as well for the Wildcats. And, of course, your starting lineup brought to you by Harrisonville's best lineup for insurance. That is Stafford and Stafford Insurance in Harrisonville. So we got 12 minutes on the clock. We are waiting for both teams to come out here, and it looked like there was a
they're showing a delay of game against Warrensburg. So not sure exactly. That can sometimes be coming out of the locker room. I'm not, but they were out. They were out long before we were. So I don't know what it is, but looked like a delay of game call or penalty. Moves it up to going to be kicking off at the 45 rather than the 40.
Conley and Pitzenberger are going to be back deep to receive it, and Kennedy Atkinson going to kick it away for the Cats. Cats going to kick from the south to the north. From the north to the south will go the Warrensburg Tigers, or from the left to the right on your computer screen or TV, whichever you may be watching on, or maybe you're even watching on your phone.
Actually, Knowles is going to kick off, and that was one thing he mentioned. Coach Schinker doesn't want Atkinson out there in the position to have to make a tackle or make any contact. So Knowles is going to be kicking off.
So here goes the Knowles kick, and he just high end over end kick, taking it about the 10. Pitzenberger going to take it right up the middle. He goes to the 35, and he's tackled Hagen Stevenson on the tackle for the Wildcats, and that's where the Warrensburg Tigers will start. It'll be Eli Nappy at quarterback for the Tigers. Expect to hear a lot of Miles Moore and Shelby Pitzenberger from the Tigers here tonight. Warrensburg going to be in their maroon tops, white bottoms, white numbers, maroon helmet with the W on the side. Cats in their white tops, white bottoms with blue trim, blue helmets. Here we go on 1st and 10. They're going to go in motion with Moore. Going to go up the middle with Pitzenberger, and he has a hole. He's going to get about 6 or 7 on first down. Bring up a 2nd down and 3 for Warrensburg to their 41-yard line. So a 2nd and 3 coming up. They're going to go shotgun formation, wide receiver. They're going to go in motion. They're going to go up the middle again. Pitzenberger nowhere to go that time. Poisel right there to grab him. They're going to be about a loss of a yard, it looks like. Maybe he got back to the line of scrimmage. We'll see where the judge marks it.
And that's Calic, not Pitzenberger, I think, in the.
So they're shifting it around here. Flanked out to the far side. On the left side is Munsterman. We'll get to Munsterman in a minute. I'll have to comment on that. And 2 wide receivers out to the right side, pistol formation. And they're going to try to get in space, and Nappy's going to take it for a 1st down and then be met at about the 46-yard line. That was Percival and Carruthers in there, but he did get the 1st down. Gain of about 6 brings up 1st and 10 up to the 47. I said Munsterman flanked out. That is Zach Munsterman, who would be my cousin. His dad is the sheriff of Johnson County, Scott Munsterman. So the more you know, Gary.
True.
2 wide receivers left, 2 to the right, shotgun formation in motion with Miles. He's going to get his first touch of the game, and he gets clipped at about the 50. That was Knowles coming over to knock him down. He's going to gain about 4, and he gets into Wildcat territory down to the Wildcat 48-yard line. Going to bring up a 2nd down and about 7 for the Tigers. Go with a wide receiver to your left, 2 to the right, shotgun formation. And this time they're going to go on an end around 4 more, and he's going to get a couple of yards and have a host of Wildcats all over him as he goes down. Graff was the first one to make contact, and it brings up 3rd down and 4 for the Tigers at the 46 of the Wildcats.
Similar to where we were the last 1st down group, we were 3rd and 4, and I think we're 3rd and 4 this time. So let's see if we can stop them this time.
Using a lot of misdirection early are the Warrensburg Tigers. We'll see if they go to misdirection again here. Wide receiver to the left, 2 to the right. And the ball's on turf. And
missed tackle,
but the Cats are able to come up with the stop as he gets back to the line of scrimmage. It looks like the punting unit comes out. Did not see who that was on the carry. I believe
that was Calic.
So Calic on the carry brings up 4th down, and Warrensburg shows punt. But again, you always got to be careful on these early on. You're in your opponent's territory. And we have a kick return contest. On a kick return contest, if we return a kick for a touchdown in this game, Michelle Helt will win a $100 Sonic gift card. She's not going to get a chance there as that ball is booted deeply out of bounds. And we'll see where he makes that walk back as the officials are going to walk it back. And only going to net about an 18-yard punt. And the Cats are going to have it from their own 25 to start things with 8:50 to go in the first quarter and no score. Cats offense onto the field, and Here's been the big question as we see the Cats come out on the field. It'll be the freshman, Espen Glenn, under center for the Wildcats. Cats going to go in that I formation they've become so accustomed to this year. 2 wide receivers out left side. And here we go. On first down, they're going to hand it off to Reynolds. Reynolds tries to get to the outside. He gets to the 29 and is cut down on the near sideline. It was Pitzenbarger on the tackle. Going to bring up a second down.
And that could be something that could come in the fourth quarter. I think they're playing a lot of people both ways as well, especially the backfield, quarterback, receivers, running backs and stuff. So you're seeing a whole host of the same people out there on defense. It was on offense.
And Harrisonville's ran into that as well. So Knowles going to be flanked out to – actually, Knowles going to come off of the field here. Wide receiver to the left, wide receiver to the right. Under center is Glenn on second down. And they're going to go to Reynolds, and Reynolds gets to the 30 and is cut down immediately. Rylander with the tackle up at the 30-yard line. Going to bring up 3rd down and 5 for the Cats. Tarwater comes into the ball game.
Along with Cecil.
So Cecil and Tarwater come in. They're going to go spread it out, it looks like here, as Pesic came out of the ball game as well. And here comes Knowles into the game for the Cats on 3rd down and 5 from their own 30. They're going to go pistol formation here. Don't go to shotgun. 2 wide receivers your left, 2 to your right on 3rd and 5. And they're going to go on an end around. Nowhere to go. That was read perfectly by Warrensburg. And that was the first time I've seen that play all season. Little end around they tried with Tarwater, and there was nothing doing, and Warrensburg was all over it. Now the Cats are going to have to punt with 7:04 to go in the first half, or first quarter, I should say. So not a great series by the Wildcats there. And two different I haven't seen this before. You got 2 different punters here. And now Knowles is going to punt it away. And he's going to get it, bounces right at the 50-yard line. I believe it bounced out of bounds at the 50. And it will be Warrensburg ball at midfield. So that was an odd formation, Gary. Have you seen that happen before?
I cannot say that I have.
2 punters back, Norris Vance and Knowles back there. Maybe they saw something. You know how coaches find these crazy trick plays. Maybe they're like, we'll just line this up a couple of times, and you may need it later in the year.
I think we talked about that last week, did we not? About trick plays and weird plays. And
we did. Wide receiver to the left, 2 to the right. Pistol formation for Nappy in the backfield. On 1st and 10, they're going to pitch it back to Moore. Moore's going to try to get to the outside, gets cut off at the 50, and a host of Wildcats, and the ball comes out. Cats are showing that they've got it, and we'll see it. It is Wildcat ball put on the turf by Moore. He might have got one right off the hip there. He comes off a little gingerly, puts it on the turf, and that's going to be Cats ball at their own 48. So the turnover battle early on for the Cats is good, as they're going to get the ball on the near hash here. It'll be 1st and 10 from their own 48-yard line.
It's already gone by.
And I forget, Jerry's hooked us up with a monitor right in front of us, and I didn't even think to look down and see where that fumble happened or who may have caused that fumble. Cats going to go shotgun formation, 2 wide receivers to the left, 2 to the right off the ends. They're going to go in motion this time with Reynolds. And here we go on 1st and 10 from the 48. They're throw it out to Reynolds in space, and he's going to cut back to the inside. He's got it midfield down to the 48-yard line, and it'll be 2nd down and 6, a little 4-yard dump off to the running back Reynolds, and it'll be 2nd down and 6. I like that pass play, though, because it keeps you honest.
It does, and it appears that they're wanting to be cautious with Espen at the very beginning.
So 2nd down and 6 coming up.
Wait a second.
So here we go up to the line of scrimmage. Wide receiver to the left, wide receiver to the right.
That's River Riley in there.
And now Rivers in there. So Espen is the one who started. That one was going nowhere all over it was Warrensburg. That was Cooper Berry with the tackle and brings up 3rd down and 9. So I didn't even pay attention. The first series, it was Espen, and then I just happened to look down, and Gary was like, hold on a second, and I saw, and there was the number 1 there. So 3rd down and 9 coming up. Cecil flanked out to your left side. To the right side is Knowles, and I formation right at midfield for the Cats. And Riley looking to throw, and he's got a go route with Knowles, and Knowles can't come up with it. Underthrown a little bit there. Knowles tried to come back to it. Maybe a little too much air under from Riley, and the Cats are going to have to punt from midfield with 5:05 to go. So neither team able to come up with much offensively here in the early going. Warrensburg with a turnover already. Cats with 2 3-and-outs. And we got Vance and Knowles set to punt it away. And now this time Vance is going to kick it away. And he boots a high end-over-ender. And it's going to bounce right at the 21-yard line, hit by the Wildcats, and that's where they'll down it. And that's where Warrensburg will take over their next series here. So 4:57 to go here, first quarter, 0-0 our score. Neither team able to grab a hold of this one early on. So it'll be Nappy at quarterback. Pitzenbarger back there along with
Well, 2 series is down.
Blue.
They've got a total of 22 yards of offense, and we've got a total of 1 yard of offense.
So Cowick next to Nappy in the backfield. Wide receiver to the left, 2 to the right. Shotgun formation, and they're going to go with Cowick, and he's going to get a quick burst for a first down. It looks like he's going to get up to the 32, and that'll be enough to move the chains. And it'll be a 10-yard run. So Cowick with the run makes it 1st and 10 up to the 32-yard line for the Tigers. And again, they're going to feed Cowick, and he gets another 5 or 6 yards. They're going to make it 8 as he's all the way up to the 40-yard line, tackled by Knowles. So a name we haven't heard much of. Cowick is the one with doing most of the damage early on in this one.
Yeah, he's already got 5 carries for 25 yards.
Wide receiver to your left, 2 to your right. In the shotgun, and up the middle, they're going to go Nappy this time. He's going to get the first down as he bounces to the outside. The fake handoff inside.
It's a good read by him.
Be a first down up to the 45. It'll be 1st and 10 from their own 45. So they get out of their own, deep out of their own end zone, or side of the field, I should say, and they're up towards midfield. Go in motion this time. And then a little misdirection to Moore, and he's going to have about 9 or 10, and that'll bring up either a 2nd and short or a 1st and 10. See where they mark the ball. We're going to mark it just shy, so it'll be 2nd and about a yard for the Tigers after the 9-yard run by Moore on the misdirection. So again, out of the shotgun for Nappy, 2 wide receivers to his right. They're going to go in motion left to right. They're going to hand it off for Pitzenbarger. He's got the first down. He's into space. He's at the 30 and able to be drugged down at about the 29 by Percival, who busted off of that block and was able to knock him down at the 29, or Pitzenbarger was going to the house. So Warrensburg offense getting up and running here. 3:25 to go first quarter of play, no score, but Warrensburg is driving in motion with Moore, and Moore going to hit his hole. He gets plenty on that one, about another 8 yards, and they are gashing the Wildcat defensive front on this drive for 7 and 8 yards per time. So 2nd down and a pair coming up for the Tigers. Wide receiver to your left, 2 to your right. Shotgun formation for Nappy. And this time he's going to hand it off for Cowick, and Cowick gets down to the 20, but going to bring up a 3rd down and short, 3rd and about a yard for the Tigers here. Bringing in extra blockers here on 3rd and short. are the Tigers. They're going to bring up several new faces coming into the ball game for Warrensburg. And they're going to go with a jump formation, or bunch formation, I should say. And a flag comes out.
It's likely to be an illegal formation on the offense, I think. Oh, it's offside on us.
So not the penalty the Cats wanted there in that jumbo bunch formation. It's going to bring up a first down for the Tigers in the red zone down to the Wildcat 15-yard line. Looks like they're going to go with the same formation here.
Looks by a few years back with the Harrisonvilles.
They're going to give it to Moore. He's going to try to get to the outside, but the Cats read it, and they must have saw it on film because they were not fooled by it. Able to get around the blocks, and Moore only able to get about a yard out of that one, maybe 2. And with 2:05 to go in the first quarter, it'll be second down and 8 from the 13-yard line. 2 wide receivers left, 2 to the right. Going to go in motion. They're going to hand it off on the motion. Pitzenbarger, he gets inside the 10, but I think this one's going to be coming back for a hold. And so that is a hold. And if that's from the spot, that will take them back to about the 18-yard line. So it'll bring up second down and about 13 for Warrensburg. So we'll see. Going to mark it back to the 21-yard line.
Well, that's kind of what the doctor ordered for us this time. Put them in long, second and long. I'm sure it's probably 4-down territory. I don't know what their kicker's like, but probably 4-down territory. So you've got several chances to get a first down, but you want to be able to be stiff right here because all they've been doing is running. And so you want to be able to hold them tight where they've got a 3rd and long.
Only completed 20 passes this season, and Moore nowhere to go. Hagen Stevenson read it well. He's the first one there. And then several other Cats helped to finish it off, including Carson Crowley. Brings up 3rd and about 14 for Warrensburg from their own 19. And if it is 4-down territory, we're going to see. And they're going to call a timeout on 3rd down to talk it over with 1:19 to go first quarter. No score. We'll take a timeout as well.
Everyone needs a kickstart at about 2 o'clock in the afternoon. So go see the team at Sonic of Harrisonville to kick away those afternoon blues with an ice-cold soda full of caffeine to kickstart that energy. The best part, 2 to 4 p.m. is happy hour, so you can kick away the cobwebs for half price. And while you're at it, don't forget to grab an afternoon snack with some cheesy bites or jalapeno poppers. Also, go to the4ts.com and sign up for the Wildcat Kick Contest. So kick away those afternoon blues and get to Sonic today.
All right, 1:19 to go here. First quarter, no score. Warrensburg knocking on the door. They're at the 19 of the Wildcats, going from left to right here in this first quarter. Warrensburg in those maroon tops, or they call it cardinal red or something. I don't know if Jason Leary's listening. He'll, I'm sure, text me and tell me what their color scheme is since he's a Warrensburg grad. Nevertheless, it is 3rd and long, and we are ready to roll here. Shotgun formation. Nappy has Gowick with him in the backfield. 2 wide receivers off to the left. All alone on the right is Moore. Look for maybe a little bubble screen for him on the outside on the one-on-one coverage. And instead they're going to fire it deep. And good position right there
by Percival.
And that could have almost been offensive pass interference if he had to go tackle Percival on that. So great coverage right there. Brings up 4th down and 14. And it looks like they're going to try to kick a field goal here from about the 20-yard line. 28 can be about a 38-yard try if that is indeed what they're going to try here.
I would make him kick it and secure the edge.
So they're going to line it up. That's a short snap, too, as they're marking it down at the 26. It'll be about a 36-yard field goal attempt. Kick is up. Kick is no good. And the Cats will take over. So I like the fact that they tried a field goal, though. They felt comfortable enough with their kicker. Just could not get it quite the distance they needed. It'll be 1st and 10 Cats from their own 20-yard line as we go back to action here with 1:07 to go in the first quarter. So No score from Warrensburg. If you're just joining us, we're on the campus of the University of Central Missouri, home of the Mules, Walton Stadium. Warrensburg's played here the last couple of years. I believe this is the third year they've been playing here at Walton Stadium. Great facility here. Wide receiver left, wide receiver right. Under center is Mr.
Oh, he's gone.
And that looks like to the 30 to the 40. And drug down at about the 50 is Mr. Jace Reynolds. A 29-yard run all the way up to the 49-yard line. Gary jinxed it there.
I did. It was a good move by him. Once he got out here, the stop and go, I think he was a little bit quicker on the quickness side of it. But the other was a running back. He had obviously he's fast, and he had an angle on him, and that was the way he was able to corral him. That's our first down, though.
And leading rusher first down brought to you by Troby's Maytag Home Appliance Center. Think Troby's first when you think home appliances. Wide receiver left, wide receiver right. Under center is Riley. High formation in the backfield. And again, this time they go up the middle to Pesic, and he breaks through past the 40 to the 37-yard line of the Tigers. And now the Wildcats are getting some yardage all the way down to the Warrensburg 39 is where they're going to mark it.
So two back-to-back first downs, and they bit on that one. I mean, I think we've all seen 25, 25, 25, 25. And you said that last week. There was a couple of times where you suggested maybe they do the Pesic thing, because catch them off guard. And that's what they did there. And I don't think anybody was expecting it. I think it was in the back, past the linebackers before they realized who had the ball.
Absolutely. 12-yard run there. Wide receiver left, wide receiver right. Riley under center. And Riley looking to throw. He's going to go down the sideline, overthrows his intended target down the far sideline, and that was Knowles. They went back to that well again, and Knowles has had good coverage on him both times on that deep throw. Brings up a 2nd and 10 for the Cats from the 39-yard line. So Percival going to check into the game for the Cats, and this is maybe where if you are going to pass, you might see a Percival little slant route for about 5 or 6 yards, as he's been that possession receiver for the Cats this year. So on 2nd down and 10, here we go. And there's a whistle, and we'll see Cats were pointing towards Warrensburg.
What was your number 3 stat of the principal's office?
Absolutely. We have not stayed out of the principal's office. We've had a couple of untimely penalties. One gave him a first down earlier, and now this one could shoot him in the foot on what was a good start to a drive with a couple of back-to-back runs. Now it brings up 2nd down and 15 for the Wildcats.
Yeah, I would like to see them throw a more high-percentage pass at this point in time if they're going to pass, rather than a fly pattern like that. I mean, get a nice slant. Like you said, Percival's been great at that in the earlier games. So I'd like to see them maybe go to something like that as well.
So now we got a flag that comes in. That might be a delay of game on the Cats. So not ideal for the Wildcats. Back-to-back false start penalties. I didn't even see what happened on that one.
I wonder, because they were having them switch sides, and I wonder if one of the linemen, interior linemen, had put their hand down and then came back up. If they did, somebody might be able to answer that question. Oh, Jerry points to the.
We got to remember we've got this monitor. We forget we haven't had it yet. So 9 seconds to go here, first quarter. See if the Cats are going to snap one here at midfield. 2nd and 20. They're going to roll out, and over the middle they go. Riley, and he's got his man Knowles, and Knowles catches it up at the 37-yard line. That'll make it 3rd and about 7, so 3rd and manageable, and that'll be the end of the first quarter of play. So we'll take a timeout. No score after 1 from Walton Stadium on the campus of the University of Central Missouri.
Everybody loves the old-fashioned drive-in. Well, guess what? Susie Q's has opened up in the Old Peculiar Drive-In location across from the Frog Barn in Peculiar. Go in, get the signature Susie Q, the one that's so big they barely fit in the basket. While you're at it, add the tenderloin. So next time you think, man, I wish I had an old drive-in, remember, there's one 5 minutes up I-49 in Peculiar at Susie Q's.
All right, we head to the second quarter. Cats have a third and manageable. They're going to flip-flop sides. They're going to go from north to south, Mr. Davidson, in this second quarter. They're going to head down 13 Highway towards Clinton. And also Leeton is right down the road as well. Did you know that?
And I think you're going past that.
I am going past that tonight. You know, that brings me into something. I'll give a shout-out to my niece after this play here. Third down coming up for the Cats from the 37-yard line. They're going to go trips out to the left side, all alone out to this right side. Watching Knowles here with single coverage. A shotgun formation with Reynolds in the backfield next to Riley. And he's looking that way. He's going to throw that way. He's got his first down, and then
he almost ran back out of it.
Tarwater, which way you going there, buddy? He took off and ran back towards, but it's going to be enough for a first down, and it's not going to matter. There's a penalty and a hold on the Wildcats. So it's going to be third down and even longer for the Wildcats as they sort this one out and mark the ball. I wanted to give a shout-out to my niece, Emma Larimore. She was a Queen candidate at Bolivar tonight for their homecoming. And Angela and my two children, Braxton and Collins, are down there. Two of the three, I should say, are down in Bolivar tonight. I'm going to head down that way after this one. And this is going to bring up third and about Higginsville for the Wildcats here on their own side of the field.
Higginsville is kind of north of here, so it's going to be third and Clinton.
No. What you looking at there?
We're going south.
Well, I know. So we're backwards. So we're third and almost outside of the city limits. Gary doesn't understand. I don't know. I don't know what to tell him. Long throw coming up and picked off on the near side by Nappy, and he's got blockers in front of him, and he's going to run out of bounds at about the 46-yard line. So both teams have had a turnover now, and that means Warrensburg's going to have the ball up to the 46-yard line. All right, it'll be a first and 10 Warrensburg at the 46-yard line. I had to chuckle a little bit. Just got a text message from the athletic director from Holden, Missouri. Joe, glad you're on the air. I think Joe's probably at home with the kiddos tonight. Got a brief night off. Two wide receivers to his right, one to his left. Up the middle they go for Moore, and nowhere to go as he was tackled by, I believe that was Poisel, and it was. So a couple of yard gain there.
Poisel came from the backside. He was quick enough to be able to get around and catch him from behind, which was great.
Jerry brought up our scoreboard so we can take a look at here as we go through the first half. 11:15 to go here in the first half of this one, and no score. And they give it to Moore, and again, Moore maybe got a yard or two. And it brings up third down and about 7 for the Tigers. So third down coming up for the Cats here, or should I say for the Tigers. I guess they're Cats as well, aren't they, Gary?
I guess from the same family, or from a short-tail family.
Tigers, Wildcats, Lions.
Tigers.
Bears, oh my. Here we go. And they're going to go on an end around, and nobody caught that one by the Wildcats, and Crowley going to force them out of bounds on the far side. It'll be a first down to the 31-yard line. That was Pitzenbarger on the counter play with all that motion. It looked a lot like a Chiefs-type play right there. Motion coming back the back way, and then you go run the opposite way. That motion was in misdirection to throw off where the handoff was going. First and 10, Warrensburg down to the 31. Motion with Moore, nowhere to go, but he cannot wrap up the tackle. That was Tarwater. Instead, he's going to make about a 3-yard gain out of it on the near side as Carruthers, that was Sean Carruthers, and Bryce Percival come over to make the tackle. They had him dead to rights in the backfield, and Tarwater could not wrap him up. It would have been about a 6-yard loss, Gary.
Yeah, and those are the ones you really need. You can't make the mistake of not being able to wrap up because you set them in second and long. It's a lot better than second and less than 10.
So 2nd and 9 coming up. Pitts and Barger, they went on that motion again with a fake handoff on that like jet sweep in motion. And Pitts and Barger are going to go set himself back up here on the near side. Shotgun for Nappy. He's going to hand off for Cowell, and he's going to get to the 29, and that's it. So Cowick gets about another yard, brings up 3rd down and about 8 for the Tigers here from the 30. You got to figure after that field goal attempt last time, this is 4-down territory for them as well.
I would say.
So here we go. 3rd down and long for Warrensburg. Moore going to be flanked way out to the far side, and they're going to go in motion, and they're going to give it to Pitzenbarger. He's going to cut back in traffic inside of the 30, but not much farther. Going to bring up 4th down and about 6, but it's 4th and manageable, and that looked like a play knowing they were going to go for it on 4th down anyway.
Oh, yeah.
So 4th down coming up. And
we got an injured
player down for Warrensburg. We'll take a quick 30-second timeout. Cats and Warrensburg, no score.
At Farmers, we've seen almost everything, so we know how to cover almost anything, even a swing set standoff. And we covered it. July 1st, 2015. Talk to Farmers. We know a thing or two because we've seen a thing or two.
We are Farmers. Bum, 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 bum.
Farmers Insurance, Bradley Sainer, in the A-frame at 1808 North Commercial Street in Harrisonville.
All right, welcome back. Helping number 55 off the field for the Tigers, Nathan Scahan. And big boy, just a sophomore, 6'2", 260, helping him off. And we'll see. I think he has to come out for a play.
Yeah.
And, yeah, they're bringing in somebody else here, so he will come off the field. Usually when it's one of those, that means that the maybe got caught right in the wrong spot there. He looked like he was ready to go back into the ball game. So a 4th down coming up, big 4th down early on in the game. Both teams trying to gain a little bit of control of this game early on. No score with 9 minutes, 8:59 exactly to go in the first half of this one. They're going to go with, it looks like a wildcat formation here because Nappy is flanked out to the right side. 3 wide receivers, and Moore is going to be your quarterback. So Moore going to go in motion, and Moore's going to try to get to the outside. He's going to try to get that 1st down. He is not going to get anywhere near it. The Cats are all over that one, and they're going to turn it over, and Coach Schenker dancing down the sidelines there. That's the Coach Schenker we're used to seeing down the sidelines. He was fired up for his defense right there on the stop, and it'll be 1st and 10 for the Cats from their own 26. So, again, another stop for the Cats here. They have forced a missed field goal and forced a turnover on downs with Warrensburg driving. So 1st and 10 coming up. River Riley going to have his I formation in the backfield. Wide receiver to the left, wide receiver to the right. For the Cats, I'd like to see a nice long drive with some running here on this one. And they're going to hand it off for Reynolds, and Reynolds is going to get up to the 30. Going to gain about 4 yards on that one. It'll be 2nd down and 6. It seems like early on in this game, you get a quarterback hasn't played for a couple of weeks, Gary, just a little bit off on his passes early on in this game. And when the Cats have gone to that pass, it's seemed to kind of slow their drives down a little bit.
Yeah, and I don't know how much he practiced this week. If you're not going to be practicing all week, preparing for the game, you're going to be rusty as well, too. So
2nd and 6 coming up from their own 30. Riley, again, going to hand off for Reynolds. Reynolds going to try to get to the outside. He gets to the 30, to the 35, and drove out of bounds on the far sideline. And I'll tell you what, sometimes he takes some licks, man. He just keeps on going. He's like the Energizer Bunny. He reminds me, he doesn't take any straight-on hits. Have you ever noticed that? He always catches a glance or a blow. He doesn't catch those straight-on hits. And your best running backs are usually guys like that they can carry the ball 20 and 30 times a game because they don't take those direct hits from a defender.
Yeah, but in any given play, he could be taking 4 or 5 hits because of the type of player he is, because he is bouncing off of tackles.
So 3rd and 2 coming up for the Cats from their own 34. And here we go. And into the line he goes. He's going to get up close to the first down.
Did not give him a very good spot at all.
And we'll see where they end up marking it. It looks like it's going to be 4th and about a foot. They're moving the chains. They're going to give him the first down.
First down for the Cats.
So that is at Troby's Maytag Home Appliance Center. First down. Think Troby's first. When you think home appliances, from up here, maybe just the way it looks down there, I thought he was about a half yard short. But it'll be a 1st and 10 Cats from the 37. And here we go on first down. And again, this time they go up the
ball
up front with. They tried to give it up front to Pesic, but it bounced out of there. Somehow the Cats came out of that. I didn't even see the ball bounce backwards like that. But football, it takes a weird bounces, as it is not a perfect circle, as you may know, Gary.
I didn't know that.
That oblong ball, you never know which way it's going to bounce. It'll bring up 2nd down and about 13. Cecil out to the left side. Knowles to the near side. Under center is Riley on 2nd down and 13. And the Cat's going to go with a throw. Cecil, he got a first down and driven out of bounds immediately by Nappy on the far side, but enough for a first down to move those chains, and that's a Troby's Maytag Home Appliance Center first down. Think Troby's first when you think home appliances. Ball all the way up to the 47-yard line near midfield. And that's a good pass right there, a 2nd down and 13 pass to the near sideline. Got his guy right at the sticks, moves the chains, Gary.
Yeah, and it's nice to see him getting into some rhythm now as far as passing.
So here we go, wide receiver left, wide receiver to the right. And they're going to go with Reynolds this time, and he put it on the ground. And Warrensburg going to recover. And that was just, again, the offense was a little out of sorts here.
Well, and a lot of times you've got the situation where you've got the quarterback that hasn't practiced all week is now handing off, and it's a little bit different than it's coming from the other quarterback that they've been practicing all week. So,
and looking back at the replay here, and he just I'm not real sure. Yeah, I wonder if that was supposed to be maybe an RPO right there, or just a play action pass, and it got dropped off. It didn't look to me like Reynolds thought he was getting that handoff. So Warrensburg going to take over at the Wildcat 45-yard line, pistol formation. Nappy running back behind him in the backfield, and they're going to hand it off. And I believe that is Moore, and Moore going nowhere. And a late flag coming in. And that'll be a hold on Warrensburg, so it'll be a 10-yard. I was worried when that flag first came in because it was after the tackle, and I thought they were going to call maybe a late hit, somebody jumping on the pile there. But nevertheless, it'll be a 10-yard penalty. It'll bring up 1st and about 20 for the Warrensburg Tigers on their own side of the field, now at their own 45.
And it's a lot different than this year than last year, because last year there was some scoring in the first quarter and a half. Tonight there's been none. We've had some movement up and down the field, but no scoring.
So here we go, back at their own 45. 6:22 to go here in the first half of this one. No score from Warrensburg. We're going to go in motion with more this time, and that'll be a false start or a motion penalty, I believe.
Now it's their turn to start making mistakes.
So that's going to bring up 1st and just outside of Leeton, Missouri, for the Warrensburg Tigers, as they're going the wrong direction. They need to be going towards Higginsville, and the Cats and the penalties are pushing them back towards Leeton and Clinton. A little bit farther, they're going to be in Clinton. So you better watch out here on 1st and long. 1st and 25 coming up for the Tigers. 2 wide receivers left, 2 to the right. Shotgun formation for Nappy, running back with them in the backfield. And they're going to look to pass, and they throw it out in the flats. They get it midfield. Percival with a good open field tackle. And that was caught by Greg Smith. And it makes it a 2nd and manageable, 2nd and about 14 here. And if you're Warrensburg, if you're going to make this 4-down territory, you're going to have to get down to about the 40. So they're going to get about either 9 or 10 here, or they're probably going to have to punt it away. So 5:40 to go here in the half. Cats and Warrensburg no score. 2 wide receivers, 2 your right, 2 to your left. And Nappy looking to pass, and he throws it out in the flats. Same play down to the 40, and that's about where they needed to be if they wanted to go for it, in my opinion. We will see what they're going to do here. They're going to mark it at about the 41-yard line, so it'll bring up 4th down. So they're saying 3rd down.
Yeah, all the penalties were on 1st down. So
I missed one there, so it'll be 3rd down and about 6 here.
Don't worry, Chad. I knew what you were saying.
I'll tell you. Off my game a little bit, I guess. Shotgun formation. In motion they're going to go. And they're going to fake it to Moore, and they're going to go the inside handoff Pitzenbarger, and he's going to have a 1st down to the 35-yard line. And that'll bring up a 1st down if they move those chains. So, again, that misdirection is enough to get 7 or 8 yards is those Wildcats start keying on that on Moore, and Pitzenbarger just goes back door on a counter.
Yeah, and it gives them time to get the, I don't know if it's a guard tackle pull that's going out there that's leading it as well. There's already a hole, and then when you get the guard tackle coming at you, I mean, it's really difficult to defend if you haven't been able to close it down.
So Cowick in the backfield with him. He's going to hand it off to Cowick, and he's going to get a couple up to the 30 to the 29. They're going to give him 6. He dives forward, and it'll bring up 2nd down and about 4 from the 29. And you know it's going to be 4-down territory now from where the Warrensburg Tigers are at. So the ball at 2nd and 9. Moore going to be flanked out to the right side. 2 wide receivers out to this left side. Shotgun formation, Cowick in the backfield. They're going to hand it to Cowick again. He gets the initial contact and then rode down by Higgins Stevenson. And it'll be just shy of a 1st down, I believe. Going to bring up 3rd and about 1. So 3rd and short for Warrensburg.
It's like they're bringing their short yardage.
They bring in that jumbo unit where they're going to put 3 guys in the backfield right next to the line of scrimmage and try to let Moore follow him, and Moore's going to have a 1st down. He gets up to about the 22 or 23-yard line where they mark him. It'll be a 1st down for Warrensburg. Not quite to the 20-yard line. There's a cat on the ground, slow to get up. That is Colin Carruthers. And Kyron Beaver's going to step in for him for a minute. Colin going to try to regroup himself here. Now again, that shotgun formation, they're going to go in motion, and they're going to go on a counter the backside for Moore, and Moore going to get to the outside, and he's going to get inside the 10 and rammed out of bounds by Knowles, and then Moore shoves himself back down on Knowles. A little extracurricular here on the near side. Nevertheless, it's coming back for the Tigers. And not what they wanted to see is both teams, seems like so far in this game, getting drives started and the penalties start coming for the teams. So it'll be a 1st and long. They're going to push this one back. This one's going to go all the way back now. The Cats need to step up back to the 36-yard line. So it'll be 1st and 22 for Warrensburg from the Wildcat 36, 3:29 to go here in this first half of play. So Moore going to be flanked out to that right side along with Cowick. Wide receiver to the left as well. And Nappy looking to pass. They go to that same sideline route. And Percival
just about jumped it.
Almost had it. Going to bring up 2nd down and long now. And now if you're the Cats, you just want to keep everything in front of you here and not allow them a 4th and manageable in this situation. And if they can even go backwards a little bit, you might push them into a punt situation.
Right. But that was the exact same play they had run last time, but actually to number 18, Greg Smith. So it just changed the personnel.
Here you go, in motion here. They're going to hand it off for Pitzenbarger. He's going to get to the outside, nowhere to go.
Good tackle.
The Cats have been tackling well in the open field. That time, Colby Knowles right there with an easy open field tackle, just form tackle at its best right there, brings up 3rd down and about 21 for the Tigers with under 3 to go in the first half. Cats would like to get a stop here and a score because they get the ball back at half. So 3rd down and long coming up. Nappy gets the play from the sideline. About 15 seconds on the play clock as they break the huddle. This is probably one of the times we may see that misdirection play with the crazy motion here. Nope, they're just going to go in motion and hand it to Moore, and Moore's not going to –
Good tackling back in the backfield too.
Moore's not going to get anything, and he's going to actually lose a yard or two. Keegan Rowe in there on the tackle, and that brings up 4th down and about 24 for the Tigers. So now decision time for them here. You almost got a punt in this situation if it's me. Now, that being said, you may just try to throw a jump ball. An interception wouldn't be terrible here if you threw it down deep. So,
yeah, the only thing though and I hate with those jump balls is kind of like, the game you play. A lot of time they could be in space, and if you get a pick, if there's a pick, then that leaves open field, and you've got a lot of linemen trying to catch, probably a faster guy on defense. And so, I don't know if I would probably punt and play because we've not been able to score in 2 minutes, okay? So you play percentages, but we've also not been in 2-minute offense. We know that both Espen and Riley can, throw the ball, get first down, stop the clock. So I'm going to be curious what they do here.
So 4th down and long coming up. Ball at the 38 of the Wildcats. They have to get to the 13 for a first down. It looks like they're lined up in punt formation, but again, you got to be careful here too. Pitzenbarger back there to punt. He could easily take off and run with it. He stands at midfield. And there's a whistle. Let's see if that was offsides or if that was a false start. So it was on Warrensburg. So I said they were headed towards Clinton. This is about 4th and outside of Clinton right here. They need to get to the 13, and the ball is going to be placed at the 43-yard line. So do the quick math. 4th and 30 coming up for the Tigers here. And they're going to have to punt it away. Tarwater and Knowles back at the 15. Remember, the Cats return a kick for a touchdown. Michelle Helt will win a
I thought they were going to get that wall set up over there, but he couldn't quite get to there.
So Tarwater nowhere to go. He's going to be knocked down at about the 11, and the Cats have 89 yards and 2:11 to go in this first half. Both teams with 2 timeouts left. Our Sonic kick return contest. Each week it goes up by $10 if the Cats do not return a kick for a touchdown. This week's contestant, as we said, Michelle Helt. So if the Cats return a kick for a touchdown in this ball game, Michelle will win a $100 Sonic gift card. That's a whole lot of Sonic.
It's a lot of Rad 44s probably for somebody.
It is. So 2 wide receivers to your left side. Under center is Riley. And he's going to pitch it back for Reynolds. Reynolds looks for a lane. He's going to get about 5, maybe 6 yards up to the 16. He was marked at the 11, so it'll be a 5-yard gain. Well, it'll be 6 when he marks it on the far side. So gain of 6 with 2 minutes, just under 2 minutes to go. This is kind of that house money we were talking about, Gary, in the pregame show. If you can score here, that's bonus points. If you can at least run the clock out in the first half, you're happy with that as well. So here they go, look to pass. They throw it on the far side for Cecil, and incomplete. Brings up 3rd down. And just as I say that, it's 3rd down and 4 now, and the clock stops with 1:33 to go. And again, River Riley just looks a little bit off here, and you talked about it a little bit earlier, not practicing at all this week, and if Espin's been practicing with the ones and River hasn't, you can see that rustiness here in this first half.
Sure.
So here we go on 3rd down and 4, under center. And Riley looks to throw. He throws it out in the flats. He has his man Cecil this time. Dives forward to about the 26. It'll be a 1st and 10, and that'll be a Troby's Maytag Home Appliance Center first down. Think Troby's first when you think home appliances. Right off of Plaza Drive behind Hawthorne Bank. Another one of our great sponsors is Hawthorne Bank. 1:24 to go here in the first half. I formation. Riley under center. Looking to pass, looking to that side again. He's going to unleash one. Tarwater going to have to come back for it and can't get back to it, and is knocked down. And that brings up a 2nd and 10 with 1:10 to go. Moore back there on the coverage along with Pitzenbarger. So 2nd and 10 coming up for the Cats with 1:10 to go here in the half. So we await the play for the Cats here. Just 10 seconds on the play clock. Cats are going to have to hurry this one in. Riley not look. No.
They just gave – we just got a holding penalty.
Well, that's even worse for the Cats because now it's 1st down and long for the Wildcats back to their own 12. So all the yardage they just got now is where you're probably going to hand off here. But Warrensburg may be thinking timeout.
And it'll look a procedure. And a lot of times that comes again with the different quarterback from that week working as far as the cadence goes. You just never know. I mean, you don't want to blame anybody for anything, and that's not what I'm doing. I'm just, when I say making excuses, giving reasons why some of these things could be happening.
1st and even longer. We're past Higginsville. We're about 1st in Lexington right now at the rate the Cats are going as they keep going the wrong direction. They're in the shadows of their own end zone here with 1:07 to go. And it's a 1st down and forever for the Wildcats.
Well, and Warrensburg's got 2 timeouts, so, they can get rid of 40 seconds at one point in time. But I was going to say I would be running the ball, and forget about anything else at this point in time.
And Reynolds is going to get a little bit of that back up to about the 14-yard line. So about 7 yards for Reynolds there with 50 seconds to go. And if Warrensburg shows they're not going to call a timeout, then you just roll it down as far as you can. Obviously, they only have 2 timeouts, so they may want to go on 2nd and 3rd down with a stop here. Cats do
I would let all this time run out right here. I know he's not going to, but because he got up to the line too fast. But
Reynolds gets to the outside. He's down the sideline, and he could go all the way to the 30. He's got one man to beat. To the 10, to the 5, touchdown Wildcats. Moore made it a foot race, but Jace Reynolds goes the distance, 80-plus yards, and the Wildcats, that was an 86-yard touchdown run by Jace Reynolds, and the Cats lead 6-0. He got to the outside. Miles Moore showed why he's being recruited by several D2 colleges as he almost chased down Jace Reynolds, but couldn't quite get there.
Yeah, that's kind of what the doctor ordered. With only 15 seconds left on the clock, did what I would say. I would have run the ball, and obviously that's what they did. So
there's the snap, the kick. It is up, and it is no good as Atkinson on the kick. So 6-0 your score with 15 seconds to go here in the first half, and the Cats strike first. And the biggest news out of that, Gary, is they get the ball back at the half as well.
Well, and that is going to be a great thing coming out. Not only do you have the momentum going into the half, but you're going to have the opportunity to have it coming out.
So Reynolds got to the outside. Nothing fancy there. He just got to the outside. We saw that play last week against Excelsior as well. Got to the outside. It was a foot race, and he goes down the sidelines. I was channeling my inner Chris Berman right there. He could go all the way. I don't know where that came from. Nevertheless, the Cats get a touchdown, and they're on the board. First, that touchdown was brought to you by our good friends at Young's Auto Repair. Give them that right touch for your car when it needs fixed. We await the kick from the Cats here. This kickoff going to be brought to you by Young's Tire and Wheel Center. Kick those old tires to the curb and go see Young's Tire and Wheel Center for some new shoes for that car.
Real quickly, that gave Reynolds 11 carries, 138 yards, so we're looking at about 12 yards a carry.
And Reynolds, the number one rusher in the metro area going into this week with over 800 yards on the year. He had, I think, 840-ish yards. The next closest was a guy from Kansas with one last game, had about 805. Little squib kick up the middle. Warrensburg going to take it back at their own 25, and here goes Pitzenbarger. Now he puts the ball on the turf, picks it back up, dusts it off, going to turn back the other way, holding on the backside. And the other way they go, and 2 seconds to go in the half. And we got a flag on the field. That'll push it back as well.
And a lot of times when you go this way, that way, this way, that way, it ends up getting a clip, blocking the back or something like that because everybody's going one way, and the next thing you know, everybody's turning around. But before that happens, somebody gets hit in the back.
Yeah, and Conley just dribbled the ball, picked it up, dusted it off, checked it out, went back the opposite way. 1 second going to be on the clock. Warrensburg, we'll see what they do, if they just maybe kneel it down here or if they're going to try to chuck one deep.
I would be surprised. I would kneel it and go into half.
And if you're Harrisonville, too, in my opinion, you don't want to get too spread out here because Moore is fast. You get him in space, and he sees a seam. You could be in a situation like you were against Kearney in week 1. You score with under a minute to go, and then you give up a big play. So they're going to bring in Pitzenbarger. Well, that was Cowick. Sorry, he's going to be back there. 2 wide receivers over to the right side, 1 to the left. And they're going to hand it off for Cowick, and he's going to get about 3 or 4, and that'll end the half. So we go to the half. The Cats lead 6-0. We'll take a timeout. We'll be back with your halftime show brought to you by Suzy Q's. After this, you're watching high school football on 4Ts.com and 4Ts streaming on YouTube. We'll be back.
When it comes to your vehicle's maintenance, we know you have plenty of options. Sometimes so many options can make it hard to find an honest, reliable automotive shop. That is where Quality Auto Service and Repair comes in, with a commitment to providing customers with honest, quality service at reasonable prices. Our technology and expertise provide you with the best car care imaginable. We take pride in diagnosing your vehicle correctly and getting you back on the road quickly. We are family owned and operated since 1995. For an appointment, call 816-380-7267. Quality Auto Service and Repair, building relationships through automotive service. It's who the Davidsons trust for auto repair.
Does your lawn need some TLC? Owned and operated by 3 generations of Wildcats, Held's Turf Farm is your local stop for sod and topsoil since 1971. Whether you need 1 roll of sod, 1 scoop of dirt, or a whole truckload, we have you covered. A new home in your future? Give us a call at 816-540-2020 and set up a quote for new sod installation. Held's Turf Farm is located between Harrisonville and Pleasant Hill and is open 8 to 5 weekdays and 8 to noon on Saturdays.
The weather's changed, and it is finally fall. The Red Barn Ranch is open, and open weekends and now during the week as well, and not just by appointment, as they have gotten their permit and they're ready to be open. Let's talk to Matt this week, and it was great to finally let them be able to have some weekday fun as well. Go check out the new slide made from Grandpa Moreland's 1961 International Grain Truck. Also, shirts, hats, hoodies are available for purchase. New wagons for your pumpkins means roll up and away, and you are on your way. And don't forget to enter the heaviest load contest where the winner will get $150 towards Red Barn Ranch any way you want it. Red Barn Ranch just north of the Community Center in Harrisonville.
We've all been there before. Needed to deposit a check in our account, but nowhere near our bank. That's where Hawthorne's Bank's mobile banking comes in. Simply open your mobile banking app, take a picture of the check, and presto, the check's been deposited. Hawthorne Bank has the big bank convenience with small town roots. So if you want a friendly, quick, and convenient service in a hometown bank, go see our friends at Hawthorne Bank next to Troby's on Plaza Drive.
Every team has the same characteristics, including having each other's back. That's the motto the team at Schroeder Chiropractic lives by. With 2 chiropractors, 3 therapists, and an amazing office staff, they got your back. They will take care of your aches and pains and have you feeling like new in a warm, family-friendly environment. Schroeder Chiropractic has the community's back as well, being actively involved in bright futures in Harrisonville youth sports. Whether it's aches and pains or getting involved in the community, Schroeder Chiropractic has your back.
This is Gary Davidson, and if you're looking for an honest, reliable heating and cooling company, look to where I look, Sherwood Heating and Cooling. Owner David Vogt has 25 years of industry experience and has been in business the last 10 years in Garden City. They are a carrier equipment dealer and can provide ductwork, design communicating equipment, and thermostats for new homes. Not to mention servicing all makes and models of furnaces and air conditioners in the Bates, Cass, and Henry County area. Whether you're looking to upgrade to a more efficient equipment like me or need something repaired, give Sherwood Heating and Cooling a call at 816-862-6610.
There is no better way to get in touch with other business owners and potential clients than joining the Harrisonville Area Chamber of Commerce. Come to monthly networking events and grow your business and make new friends. The Chamber is booking now for booths at the Log Cabin Festival October 4th and 5th. So give Bing and the staff a call today and get signed up for all the fun. 816-380-5271. Every broadcast team has to look good. The 4T's crew is no different. That's why we trust C-Squared Embroidery and Screen Printing to outfit us for each broadcast. Offering full-service screen printing, embroidery, promotional products, banners, and more, they can take care of you. When you're looking for a company to make that next shirt, stop looking and call C-Squared Embroidery and Screen Printing at 660-885-2447 or find them on Facebook or Instagram.
Looking for a new modern style place for your wedding? One that won't break the bank? We've got good news for you. Harrisonville's newest event space, the Uptown Event Space, is now booking for events for the holidays and next year. Located across from the Old Cass Medical Center, there's ample parking and space for your next big party, complete with private rooms for the bride and groom to get ready, a kitchen area, and a full catering available. It's time to go to Uptown and book your next event today. Buying a house is a full-time job in itself. Why not take the work out of finding your dream home? Go see Carol Looney and her staff at American Heritage Realtors today. Locally owned and members of the community, American Heritage is sure to help you find everything you need in a new home. With insight to local schools, parks, and neighborhoods, they'll match you with everything you want for your dream home. So when the time comes to buy or sell, call American Heritage Realtors at 816-380-6161 or visit them today online at americanheritage-realtors.com.
It's important to have a local bank. Sherwood Community Bank is the area's only locally owned bank. It's nice when your local bank is also up with the times and provides you with internet banking and a mobile banking app. We are all so busy, so sometimes being able to jump online or use an app to transfer funds at the click of a button is the easiest way to bank. So go to one of Sherwood Bank's 4 convenient locations in Urick, Creighton, Garden City, or Harrisonville and set up an account today.
And don't forget to download the Sherwood Bank app.
Want the best deal from the best dealership? Max Motors Ford, right in Harrisonville, Missouri. We make deals the others won't. More for your trade, less for your new one. Worth the drive from anywhere. We will beat any competitor's offer on a new vehicle by $500 or give you $500 and a tank of gas. With a great selection of over 800 vehicles priced at or below dealer cost. Come see why Max Ford in Harrisonville is the easiest place to buy a car. Visit us at the corner of 71 and 291 highways or shop maxford.com. Proud to sponsor our Harrisonville Wildcats.
Atkinson Funeral Home and Cremation Services have been serving families in the area since 1929. The Atkinsons take great pride in being members of the community. They will soon graduate a 4th-generation Wildcat, and with this kind of commitment to Harrisonville, you know Atkinson Funeral Home will be there for you. As always, they are proud supporters of the Harrisonville Wildcats.
Hi, I'm Lacey Domnick.
Hi, I'm Cameron Chenoweth with American Family Insurance.
And as I was saying before I was cut off, I'm Lacey Domnick with Shelter Insurance. As you can see, we're both competitors off the field. However, since we're Harrisonville alums, we both still love the Wildcats and this community.
So if you're looking for hometown insurance from a hometown agent, give me a call, Cameron.
No! Give me a call at 816-380-2700 for a shelter insurance quote today.
Or for the best quote, give me a call at 816-380-3996 for an American Family quote. We know you have options, so we want to team up to give you the best options in insurance.
What do you look for when you're buying a used vehicle? How about honesty and integrity, along with a reliable vehicle? That's why you should turn to Steve Holland at Holland Auto Sales. Selling reliable vehicles in Harrisonville for 35 years means Holland's will be around when it's time to buy. At Holland's, you get more than a nice vehicle. You get a friend in the car business.
Go where the grammars go, Hans Auto Sales, and ask for Steve.
Event spaces come in all shapes and sizes. Finding the one that is just right can be a hassle. Not anymore. The Dickey Cottage is perfect for those extra large family gatherings, birthday parties, baby showers, and more. With a large kitchen to use, a giant dining room for everyone, and a living room area with a big screen, there is sure to be room for everyone to relax and feel right at home. So the next time you need a venue that is just right, call Sonia at 816-925-0588 and book your date today. The Dickey Cottage, the venue place.
Insurance doesn't have to be a bad word, especially when all the insurance you need is under one roof. Auto, commercial, life, health, farm, or crop insurance, they have you covered. With a lineup like that, they are sure to be the team covered. So instead of dreading a call to get an insurance quote, call the team that will line up with the best of them. The team at Stafford & Stafford Insurance, located on Commercial across from Holland's Auto Sales.
One of the scariest things to do is to take your car to a mechanic. No reason to be scared when you have the best mechanics around right here in Harrisonville. Colby and the crew at Colby's Car Clinic are all ASE certified mechanics with the latest equipment to keep your vehicle running smoothly year in and year out. So don't be scared. Go to Colby's Car Clinic and take the fear out of getting your car fixed. Give Colby a call at 816-380-3000 or go see them in the big blue building behind O'Reilly's. There is only one place in Harrisonville that you can see every Wildcat game, home or away, on the big screen. That's at Forged by Fire. If you're unable to make the journey to the game, stop in and watch the game with fellow Wildcat fans. Check them out every other night as well during the week with nightly specials and a full menu that is sure to make your mouth water. Forged by Fire is Harrisonville's premier restaurant, and remember, it's your Friday night Wildcat headquarters before, during, and after the game.
Welcome back to the Halftime Show, brought to you by Suzy Q Drive-In and Peculiar. There's nothing half about your portions. Go grab a basket of Suzy Q's and a tenderloin today. Cats lead 6-0, and we are at the half. It'll be an extended halftime as it is, we think, senior night and halftime of homecoming and everything else going on out there. Band has not yet to perform, so I think that's coming up as well. So we'll have an extra halftime time here to talk about things, and we'll get Gary Davidson in here just a moment. Gary is chomping down on some Twizzlers, and he's getting his statistics ready. And now Gary's going to come on. I'm going to give him a hard time, but nevertheless, Cats lead 6-0 at the half, and that's the big score that you want if you're the Wildcats, as you're up 6-0 at half.
Yeah, and it couldn't have come at a better time. Right at the very end of the half, Reynolds gets an 86-yard touchdown run, got to the corner finally, and once he made it to the corner, nobody had angles on him this time to be able to cut him off, and then it was a foot race. However, we did find out that Moore does have some speed. We know Reynolds has got some speed as well, but Moore was able to make up a few steps on him just as he went over the goal line and into the end zone. So with scoring, is the only scoring in the first half, with 15 seconds left, Reynolds goes 86 yards for pay dirt for the Wildcats and makes the score 6-0. Extra point failed, and so that's where we are at 6-0 at the half. Reynolds had 11 carries for 138 yards. Pesic had 1 carry for 14 yards, and that's pretty much the rushing. Receiving, Knowles had 1 catch for 13 yards. Cecil had 2 catches for 22 yards, and Reynolds had 1 catch for 4 yards. So total yards offensively, 186 yards with 9 minutes of offense. The one thing the rest of the year, don't mention the principal's office and laundry or anything else like that, because we really hadn't mentioned a whole lot of that until tonight. And now we've got 7 penalties for 50 yards plus, because some of those 10-yard penalties are spot fouls, which it's more than just the 10 yards. Sometimes it could be 5 yards behind the line of scrimmage. So we had 7 penalties for 50 yards. Now, granted, Warrensburg's not so much better because they had 4 penalties for 40 yards. So it could be the crew of referees out there as well. Real quickly on the Warrensburg side, they had a total of 148 yards offense, had the ball 15 minutes total. So they've won the battle as far as being on the field, which is going to make a difference in the end because our defense has been on the field for 15 minutes. So they had 128 yards rushing, led by not by more, but Kallick has 42 yards and Pitzenberger has 39 yards and followed up by Moore with 36 yards. So that is the halftime statistics, and I'll turn it back over to Chad, and that way he can make fun of me because we made a little bit of fun of him while he was gone a while ago, and I think he's going to try to make me pay for it. So
I would not do that. Those are our halftime stats brought to you by Uptown Event Space, a big space at half the cost, now booking for the holidays and 2020. And again, your score 6-0. The biggest thing out of the first half is that score becomes huge because now the Wildcats are going to be able to start the second half with the ball, and if they can get a score, it makes it a 2-possession game and can change the complexion of this game. So it'll be interesting to see how that goes as we are ready to rock and roll for second half. We got a lot left in the first half. Let's take a minute and go with our soccer seconds. And this week's soccer review brought to you by our great friends at Schroeder Chiropractic. You know they got your back. And the score, the half, is 6-0. The soccer seconds, the Cats went 1-1 this week. They do play in the morning as well. They lost to Lincoln Prep 3-2 last night, but they were able to beat Kearney tonight 3-2, scored a goal in the final 12 seconds to win that ball
Every
game.
team
and all
has the
3
same
goals
characteristics,
tonight coming from
including
Kobe
having
Norris for the Wildcats. Shout out to Jill Filer for sending that information in to me tonight, as she is always on top of her game with her updates. So thanks a lot, Jill, for that one. Your score here, 6-0, Wildcats lead, and that was your soccer seconds. Brought to you by Schroeder Chiropractic. They got your back. We're going to take a timeout. We'll be back with more on your halftime show, brought to you by Suzy Q after this.
What is greater than 1? 2! That's right, now Show Me Auto Mall has 2 locations to serve you, one in Harrisonville and the north location in Belton. Chances are, that means the quality of used vehicle you are searching for is going to be at one of their 2 locations. With several financing options available, Show Me Auto Mall will get you in the vehicle you want without breaking the bank. So when it's time to trade that vehicle in, go see the gang at Show Me Auto Mall and let them show you the Show Me difference.
The Trade Fair Mall isn't just an antique mall. It's several businesses in one. Need t-shirts for your team? A custom t-shirt shop on site has you covered. Speaking of covered, Harrisonville Trade Fair is Missouri's #1 seller of premier portable buildings to store all your outside equipment. Design your own or buy one in stock for as little as $100 down and no credit check. While you are custom designing your premier portable building, snack on some delightful cinnamon glazed pecans, cashews, and almonds from the Nutty Bavarian. You need it, they probably got it. Harrisonville's Trade Fair Mall across from Sutherland's.
What is one of your most precious commodities these days? Time. With kids' events, family events, and everything in between, time is precious. So why drive hours and spend an entire day to save $20? Shop local and find your home appliances right in Harrisonville at Troby's Maytag Home Appliance Center. They deliver and can service any issues that can arise. By doing that, you're putting money right back into the community. So stop wasting family time and go see the staff that treats you like their family at Troby's Maytag Home Appliance Center on Plaza Drive, right behind Hawthorne Bank.
Well, it's football season, so that means cold weather is not far behind. It's time to drive on over to Young's Auto Repair to get your car ready for the winter. Flush the radiator, get an oil change, and make sure the heater is ready to keep your family comfortable all winter long. If something else may ail your car, bring it in. Let Young's diagnose the problem, get you back on the road. Young's Auto across the road from Young's Tire on South Commercial Street.
Everyone needs a kickstart at about 2 o'clock in the afternoon. So go see the team at Sonic of Harrisonville to kick away those afternoon blues with an ice-cold soda full of caffeine to kickstart that energy. The best part, 2 to 4 p.m. is happy hour, so you can kick away the cobwebs for half price. And while you're at it, don't forget to grab an afternoon snack with some cheesy bites or jalapeno poppers. Also, go to the4ts.com and sign up for the Wildcat Kick Contest. So kick away those afternoon blues and get to Sonic today.
Everybody loves the old-fashioned drive-in. Well, guess what? Susie Q's has opened up in the Old Peculiar Drive-In location across from the Frog Barn and Peculiar. Go in, get the signature Susie Q, you know, the one that's so big they barely fit in the basket. While you're at it, at the Tenderloin. So next time you think, man, I wish I had an old drive-in, remember, there's one 5 minutes up I-49 in Peculiar at Susie Q's.
At Farmers, we've seen almost everything, so we know how to cover almost anything, even a swing set standoff. And we covered it. July 1st, 2015. Talk to Farmers. We know a thing or two because we've seen a thing or two.
We are farmers. Bum, 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 bum.
Farmers Insurance, Bradley Sainer, in the A-frame at 1808 North Commercial Street in Harrisonville.
When it comes to your vehicle's maintenance, we know you have plenty of options. Sometimes so many options can make it hard to find an honest, reliable automotive shop. That is where Quality Auto Service and Repair comes in, with a commitment to providing customers with honest, quality service at reasonable prices. Our technology and expertise provide you with the best car care imaginable. We take pride in diagnosing your vehicle correctly and getting you back on the road quickly. We are family owned and operated since 1995. For an appointment, call 816-380-7267. Quality Auto Service and Repair, building relationships through automotive service. It's who the Davidsons trust for auto repair.
It finally got a little bit cool, so that means it is fall. There's apple picking along with pumpkins out at Upcycled Orchard. Go across the street and see all of the nice activities at the pumpkin patch next door to the Upcycled Orchard at the farm and on the campus of the Cider House. They're open on Saturdays from 10 to 5, 12 to 5 on Sunday, all the way through October. Plenty to do for the entire family out there. They also have cider donut and slushies. They have pumpkins, mums, and fall decor and gifts. The pumpkin patch is located, as we said, next door. You can book special groups during the week. Check them out on Facebook at Upcycled Orchard or the Cider House page. And also remember the farm to table dinners as well. That is Upcycled Orchard, one of our great sponsors on 4T's Broadcasting. So it looks like everybody's cleared the field. It looks like we'll have another 3 minutes or so here on our halftime show, brought to you by Susie Q Drive-In and Peculiar. Now than half about your portions. Go grab a basket of Susie Q's and a tenderloin today. We're going to start at the top here, and let's run down some scores for you here of note. As one of the scores we saw, 42-0 Odessa all over Excelsior Springs. That is a matchup coming up for the Wildcats in about 3 weeks or so. So let's run down some scores that we do have. Let's try to get some of note here that folks in the area might be wanting to hear, and a lot of them around the area just are not updated. Adrian beating Diamond 32-0. As we're going, we got Jerry directing traffic here, trying to see. Oak Park is up 6-0 on Grandview. Grandview really seems, score-wise, Gary, this year, Grandview really seems to be one of those teams that's like Jekyll and Hyde. They beat Pleasant Hill 42-7, but then they're in a dogfight with a Oak Park team that has struggled for years.
Well, and sometimes that happens. Especially with Grandview. Grandviews always have really good athletes. Sometimes it just depends on how they're playing in a night, how well they do. And so
my good friend Joe Parkhurst, who was the AD at Holden, and I'll get to that score here. I don't have a score on here, so I'm hoping if Joe is still listening and watching, he's at home sick, so hopefully he gets well pretty quickly. If he has an update from the Holden Lafayette County score or Higginsville score. Hopefully he'll give me a shout-out on that one. Kearney leads 10-7 over Belton. Last we saw, Gary's going down some other ones here. Oak Grove, Pleasant Hill was 7-0 in the second quarter. Last update we had. Maryville all over St. Joe Benton, 33-0. Looking down farther, Blue Springs up 14-13 on Ray Peck. We're having a little bit of fun here as Jerry and Gary are playing tag with the screen in front of us here. Platte County up 9-0 on Smithville. That's a big district game up north because whoever wins that's going to have the inside track on District 7, which is whoever the winner of Harrisonville's District 8, would play in the quarterfinals. So that's those two right there doing battle right now, and they have the upper hand. But I will say this, do not count out Lincoln Prep on that side. I don't know if you remember going up and playing them in the first round last year. They've got a ton of athletes. They now have a home field. I don't know if you've seen this.
I saw that.
The bright blue, they got the Boise State type turf, but they have their own home field. They haven't had it for years. They're having their homecoming tonight, their grand opening of their stadium. I'm telling you, that team could make some noise, and they could be the dark horse in that District 7 up there.
Sure, they could. And you get not only it's a lot. We talk about confidence, but we talk about your self-image and them getting their own stadium, a turf like that. They're going to be proud of, and if they can come out and produce on that field, a lot of things can happen for them, and good for them. I mean, it is great. It is great for their opportunities.
Absolutely. You know, we had a blast up there last year. We talked about it. You know, I always recommend if you can get to an interscholastic league game, you need to go to one because the atmosphere is great. You know, I know the stigma that goes along with that. People get, where do we got to go to watch that game? There's none of that. It was fun. We had a blast. Everybody was as friendly as can be. Everybody there just having fun at the games. Get yourself to one of those games because they are a blast. Those are all the real scores that we have. 22-7, Blue Springs South leading William Chrisman. Bishop Miege over Rockers, 13-7. Not a whole lot of update on the scoreboard tonight. I don't know if it's lagging behind or what's going on, but nevertheless, Lewisburg, our neighbors on the Kansas side, up 14-0 over Eudora. And we're ready for some second half football. Cats are going to get it. They're going to go from north to south in this second half. We got Knowles. It looks like Knowles and Tarwater back to receive for the Wildcats, and this is a big drive to start the second half. This is a momentum swinging type of drive if you're the Cats. If you can pound the ball down the field, get a touchdown, go up 2 scores, you're going to start letting that doubt creep in on the Warrensburg Tigers.
Oh, yeah, and, you know, I don't know that Warrensburg's even been behind this year. Probably haven't. And so this is a new territory for them. And so give kudos to our offense and being able to score there going into the half, taking the momentum in. Let's bring it out and do something with it. And hopefully we will go up 2 scores, and then we'll really see what Warrensburg truly has.
All right, so we await the kick here. And here comes the kick from Warrensburg. High end over end kick, good kick. And Tarwater going to take it at his own 3. Knowles falls to the ground, so that extra blocker not back there for Tarwater. And it will be Cats ball inside their own 20 at their own 18. Of course, we saw that did not matter earlier for Mr. Jace Reynolds with the long touchdown run. He has had touchdown runs of 2 over 80 this year. He had an 88 and 86, I believe, and then he had a 70-plus yard run last week. So he's starting to rack up those game-breaking runs. It'll be 1st and 10. Cats are going to mark it at the 19-yard line. And here comes River Riley back out to quarterback in the second half. I formation, 2 wide receivers out to the left side on 1st and 10. They're going to hand off for Reynolds, and Reynolds gets into the linebackers there, a gain of about 2 or 3. It looked like he was going to be stopped in his tracks at about the 17, and he was able to make something out of nothing, going to bring up a 2nd down and 7. By the way, Jace Reynolds' long touchdown run last week was presented and was featured on the Chiefs pregame show last Sunday. I'll get to that one in just a minute. Wide receiver to the left, wide receiver to the right, I formation for the Wildcats. And up the middle again, this time Pesic, and he gets a first down up to the 35-yard line, a quick 12-yard scamper. So Sunday morning, I had to run up to Kansas City to exchange a shirt, and I get a text from my wife, and she sends me this text. Somebody was listening, one of her teachers was listening to the Chiefs pregame show, and they heard our call of Jace's touchdown run on the Chiefs pregame show. It was the Preps KC call of the week on the pregame show. Reynolds gets a couple here up to about the 37-yard line, bring up a 2nd down and 8. So it was kind of interesting. She texted my wife and was like, they just said Chad Grammer on the Chiefs pregame show. That's the second time in 5 years. I felt pretty special at the time. I was like, what? But I didn't get to hear it myself. But nevertheless, that was something neat for Jace and for everybody to be able to hear that on the Chiefs pregame show last Sunday.
Oh, absolutely.
So 2nd down and 8 coming up. Wide receiver to the left, wide receiver to the right. Here we go. Reynolds again with a handoff, gets to the outside of the 40 and down the sideline to the 50.
There's going to be a hold right there. Thought I saw that. And sure enough, they were able to catch it. And there's another flag back here, so looks like we're going to have 2 flags.
So they sealed off the backside over there, but they did it not the way they needed to do it. And there's that laundry again that Gary Davidson was talking about at halftime. There's a hold and a false start, so they're going to accept the hold. Well, there was 2 holds and a false start. So obviously going to accept the holding penalty, and that'll push them back 10 yards. And it'll bring up 2nd down and long for the Wildcats. River Riley gets to play from the sideline. 10:24 to go here, 3rd quarter. Cats lead 6-0. I remember about 5 years ago when we had that play call. It was one of Morgan Salamaya's touchdowns. And Chad Getz, who helps run the youth soccer program, texted me and said, I just heard a play call here on the pregame. I was like, what? So here we go. It is a 2nd down and about 18 for the Wildcats from their own 27-yard line. Riley is under center. He's got Knowles to the near side, Cecil to the far side. And here we go on for 2nd down and long. And looking to throw. He's going to throw it to Cecil. Backdoor throw. Incomplete. Good coverage on the far side by the Tigers of Warrensburg. That was Jaden Blue on the coverage. So that brings up a 3rd down and long. Got a chance at halftime also to talk to legendary coach Culp from Warrensburg. He's over there. Used to be a lot of Harrisonville folks will know that name as well from way back in the day. Talked a little Kelly Donahoe on that one. Wide receiver left, wide receiver to the right. And 3rd down, they're going to go on inside handoff for Reynolds, and he cannot go anywhere, and the Cats are going to have to punt. So promising start to a drive ends the exact same way. A lot of drives in the first half for both squads ended with penalties and going the wrong way. So 4th down and long for the Wildcats. Going to have to punt it away here. And you got Knowles and the double formation there. Knowles is going to kick it away inside the 50. I should say past the 50, inside the 40, and it rolls dead at about the 37-yard line. So with 9:30 to go here in quarter number 3 as we're just underway in the second half, the Cats lead 6-0 over the Warrensburg Tigers. Nappy going to get his play from the sideline here. Ball on the near hash here. This is like the best view we've had all night, Gary, right down in front of us here. Shotgun formation, 2 wide receivers, flanked out to your right, one to your left. And they're going to hand off, nowhere to go. Several Cats in there. Brody Rogers, Keegan Rowe, and others for the Cats. Hagan Stevenson as well. So good job cutting it down right there by the Wildcats. Also Carson Graff. I think he was the first one to make contact.
Well, if we can stop that one backside kind of the one that goes in motion and it comes backside, that seems to be one of their best plays that they've had.
So 2 wide receivers left to the right, pass out in the flats, and the ball on the turf. Cats pick it up. Now they're going to say incomplete, and down the sideline with it was Sean Carruthers, but brings up third down. So it would have been a real big break for the Cats to get the fumble. They call it incomplete. Nevertheless, it's still a good break for the Cats because instead of 3rd and about 2, it's 3rd and 9.
Well, and that's the only pass they've completed or being close to completed. They've completed it twice. That would have been a third time good open field tackle. I mean, and keeping it there was obviously Percival, but
bring it up 3rd and long. 2 wide receivers left to the right. Nabby in the backfield in shotgun, and he's being chased, and he's going to have to run with it. Gets to the near side here, and he's going to go out of bounds at the near side, forced out by Tarwater, and it'll bring up 4th down, and Warrensburg going to have to punt. So a good answer by the Wildcat defense there to contain the Warrensburg Tigers, and it'll be a punt from inside their own 40. It looks like they're going to mark it at their own 39-yard line, and Tarwater and Knowles back to return this one. Sonic kick contest. If the Cats return this kick or any kick in the game for a touchdown, Shell Helt will win a $100 Sonic gift card, and she gets a $5 Sonic gift card just for playing. It's 4th down coming up, and there's the punt, and it is high end over end and out of bounds. And that one's probably going to be marked up close to the 40. We'll see, as it was well out of bounds, and Tarwater was standing over there at the 30-yard line. You'll mark it at the 35. So that thing took a left turn quickly there. Cats will have it at their own 34.
I'm sorry. I had to chuckle because I really like Jerry's chuckle back there whenever you said took a quick left turn. Well, that's about where it bounced. I mean, really.
I'm just going with what I saw. That's all I was saying. 8:40 to go here, 3rd quarter. 6-0 Wildcats with the lead. And River Riley and company come back out. It'll be Riley under center, Pesic and Reynolds in the backfield. He's going to have Cecil to his left, flanked out to the right side will be Knowles. And here we go on 1st and 10. And up the middle they go, nowhere to go. And a flag on top of that. So when you lose yardage and you got a flag and it could be holding, that's not going to be what you want.
At least it happened on 1st down. Is that a benefit?
I mean, could be, but you're still in your own territory here, so we'll see.
I'm trying to make things look.
I've already marked some notes for next week. In the next couple of weeks, no mention of
laundry
penalties
or
anything trouble related, because we haven't talked about it all year or since about week 2, and we brought it back out tonight, and there it goes.
It was a chop block. Probably one engaged and the other one went low, which you can't do from the line. And so 10 yards marked off. That's 2nd penalty for 20 yards just this half.
That's a 15-yard penalty because those are the personal foul. So now back at their own 20, brings up 1st and 25. We've been to Lexington, or we've been to Higginsville. We've been to Lexington. Our next stop's going to be Richmond if we keep going that way.
You know somebody up there, don't you?
I do. I do know a gentleman from Richmond, Missouri, and a lady. And they're going to go handoff, nowhere to go. Another 5 yards are lost. And it'll bring up 2nd down. And this looks like that one drive that Warrensburg had in the first half as they kept going backwards, ended up on their own side of the field. Cats can't go too much farther backwards. 2nd down and long coming up. They got to get to the 34 just to get back to the original sticks. They need a 1st down up at the 44-yard line. So 2nd and long for the Cats, and here we go on 2nd down and a false start penalty, I believe. They walk right back 5 yards. So this is not a drive for the Wildcats here with 7:54 to go. And if they have had one Achilles tonight, it has been being sloppy. They had 7 first-half penalties. That's the 4th in this quarter, I believe. They have 11 now in the ball game. Third. So they have 10 penalties in the ball game, 3 already here in the second half. Wide receiver to the left, wide receiver right, I formation in the backfield, and they're going to hand off for Reynolds, and Reynolds gets to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. And it's going to bring up third down and long. So Cats, and you almost play protect the ball right here in a situation when you're third and 35 or 40 yards away. Third down coming up for the Wildcats. So 3rd and 34 for the Wildcats. Need to get to the 44-yard line. Wide receiver to the left, wide receiver to the right. Under center is Reynolds on 3rd down. They're going to head off for Reynolds, and Reynolds is going to get a couple yards back up to about the 14, and that's going to do it for the Cats on this drive. They're going to have to punt it away. So not a great drive by the Wildcats. With 7 minutes to go in the third quarter, ball at their own 14-yard line. They're going to have to punt it away. That drive started at their own 34. So they lost 20 yards on penalties there. And Cats are going to kick it away, and it is a short kick fielded at the Wildcat 43-yard line. Norris Vance on the punt that time, and he got it back basically to where the first down marker would have been. So it'll be Warrensburg ball at the 42 of the Wildcats with 6:39 to go here in quarter number 3. Warrensburg trying to regain the lead or gain the lead for the first time tonight. They trail 6-0. If a touchdown and a extra point would give them the lead here. So 6:39 to go, third quarter. Up to the line of scrimmage they go. 2 wide receivers to the left, 2 to the right. Shotgun formation for Nappy in the backfield. They're going to go in motion with Moore. Fake to Moore and to look for him in the flats, and he cannot hang on to it. He drops it, brings up 2nd down and 10. Tarwater was there chasing. And 2nd down and 10 coming up. So Warrensburg has not looked crisp offensively. Neither team has looked crisp at all in this ball game, Gary.
No, and especially coming out of half, you would have thought you would have some, this is their second series, and Harrisonville's had 2 series, and you're right, neither one of them have looked crisp at all, other than, mistakes. I mean, it's hard to look crisp when you have 20, 25 yards of penalties in one drive.
So Cowick next to Nappy in the backfield, 2 wide receivers. That way they're going to go on the misdirection to Moore. Moore's going to get to the outside, cut back, and chase down at about the 38-yard line. He's going to gain about 5, tackled by Poisel. And there's a penalty flag that comes in there. Not sure what happened there. Holding on Warrensburg. So that one's going to push them back. And again, sloppy football on both sides. This will push Warrensburg all the way back towards midfield and actually going to push them right at midfield. So it'll be 2nd down and about 18 for the Wildcats here, for the Tigers with 6:25 to go in the third.
The one thing is, this game is probably going to be over fairly early because of all the running and very little passing as we took a look around and who got a pass.
And right there they go pass on the far side and gets most of the lost yardage back up to about the 38-yard line. To the 42-yard line of the Wildcats. So it'll be 3rd down and 10 coming up for Warrensburg. Ball at the Wildcat 42, between the 42 and the 41.
And this is not their strongest strength either as well. So I'd like to have them in 3rd and long because it puts them in a position that they're not normally in, nor do they like to be in.
And they've gone with, on the 3rd down, these long situations, they've gone with this misdirection motion. And we'll see if they do it here. No, they're just going to look to pass, and Nappy looking. He's going to go deep. He chucks it deep and into the end zone. Sean Carruthers got turned around, and just like that, Warrensburg on the scoreboard. Pitzenbarger switched him up and puts it in for 6, and we're tied up with 5:29 to go. Warrensburg kind of lull you to sleep with the run game, and they were able to hit the deep pass down the sideline, make it 6-6.
And he was actually in good position. I don't know if he didn't see the ball right off because he was in a good position to be able to defend it, but then he kind of came up rather than going to defend it.
Yeah, he almost, as the kick is up, the kick is good, and Warrensburg leads 7-6. As Gary was saying, it almost looked like he didn't play ball there as he stopped. He kind of played the receiver, it looked like, as the receiver slowed down. So he stopped and turned around and was not able to regain that speed to be able to knock the ball down. Nevertheless, the score 7-6, Warrensburg with the lead. We'll take a quick 30-second timeout.
Does your lawn need some TLC? Owned and operated by 3 generations of Wildcats, Held's Turf Farm is your local stop for sod and topsoil since 1971. Whether you need 1 roll of sod, 1 scoop of dirt, or a whole truckload, we have you covered. A new home in your future? Give us a call at 816-540-2020 and set up a quote for new sod installation. Held's Turf Farm is located between Harrisonville and Pleasant Hill and is open 8 to 5 weekdays and 8 to noon on Saturdays.
All right, welcome back. 5:29 to go, third quarter. Warrensburg gets the lead in this one, 7-6. So a 3rd and 10 and a long pass from Nappy to Pitzenbarger, and Warrensburg is on top. See if that changes the momentum of this one.
Let's have a kick return.
That would be a kick return. That would be good for Michelle Helt, as that would mean she would win a $100 gift card from Sonic. And Tarwater gets to the outside to the 15, up to the 20-yard line, and that's going to be it. It'll be 1st and 10, Cats from their own 19. And, you know, that's somebody we haven't seen much of on offense since he's come back. He missed a couple of games. He's come back. We have not seen him out there a lot on the offensive side of the ball, and he is a good weapon to have on the offensive side of the ball. We haven't seen a whole lot of him on the offensive side. So Cats got some work to do. Down 7-6 here. Ball, they're going to place it at the 20. So 80-yard field in front of them with 5:22 to go here, third quarter. 7-6, Warrensburg with the lead, their first lead of the ball game. Wide receiver your left, wide receiver right. Here goes Riley under center. And they're going to hand off for Reynolds, and Reynolds gets a hole, gets to the outside of the 25, and dives forward about the 27-yard line, and that'll be about a 7-yard gain, bring up 2nd and short for the Wildcats. And, you know, you almost think Coach Meeks right now, offensive coordinator, is thinking, we're going to keep it between the tackles. We're going to keep it simple here. They've had so many penalties in this ball game holding-wise. We'll see what they do the rest of this game. Wide receiver to the left, wide receiver right. That'll be an 8-yard gain, so it is 2nd and 2. And another handoff for Reynolds, and Reynolds gets close to the line of scrimmage and dives forward. Going to bring up 3rd down and short. So 3rd and short for the Cats, just shy of the 30-yard line. So here we go on 3rd down with 4:25 to go. Big 3rd down coming up for the Wildcats. You want to move those sticks and keep this drive rolling. Cecil flanked out to the left. Knowles to the right side. Pesic in front of Reynolds. And they're going to hand off for Reynolds, and he gets the first down just past the 30, got a yard. And it'll bring up 1st and 10. That's a Troby's Maytag Home Appliance Center. First down, think Troby's first when you think home appliances.
That is Reynolds' 20th carry for 152 yards.
20 for 152.
Unofficially.
He's going to need at least another 50 for the Wildcats to win this football game, Gary, in my opinion. What would your opinion be? Does he need another 50 yards?
Don't know yet.
1st and 10, ball just past 30 to the 31-yard line. Wide receiver left, wide receiver to the right. Under center, and River going to throw it. He throws it down the near side, and Knowles up to grab it and has a first down, and a flag is thrown. I wonder if they're going to call offensive pass interference on him on a push-off. So if that's the case, it'll be coming back. Warrensburg's pointing that way. And it is on Colby Knowles. And, that's a situation, too. River hasn't had that crisp ball tonight like he's had in the past. He's throwing them up there high. When you get those type of plays like that, you put your receiver in a situation where he has to go, and there's some hand fighting there. I would have gone no call because it looked like a lot of hand contact between both of them. Nevertheless, you've got to know where you're at. And now a first down in Warrensburg territory turns into a 1st and 20 from your own 20. Check it out. So here we go. Let's see if we get a look at it here. And I didn't see much on that. On the replay there, it didn't look like there was a whole lot there, but nevertheless, it's a 15-yard penalty, so it is 1st and 25 from their own 15-yard line with 3:24 to go.
This is where we were in the last drive. You had penalties and got us back in a position that we're not accustomed to being in as well.
So now the Cats going to go out of the shotgun this time, and they got that 3 wide receiver. They're going to go blitz and nowhere to go for Riley, and that might be intentional grounding. I don't see the flag yet.
Well, 3. Knowles was out here, so but he was running a go route. He wasn't running a curl where that ball went, but still, he was in the vicinity.
Yeah, Connor Wyatt was in on the blitz right there, and he was untouched.
They're going to throw it,
and now,
I don't.
We'll
So you're going to see it in replay. You're going to see Knowles here, and he throws it right there. So he was between 8 yards from him, but it's going to be a loss of down and wherever they're going to show the flag is at.
So I talked about it. I was teasing about it a little bit ago, but this ball is going to be at the 4-yard line. You want to talk about a half to forget so far for the Cats? It's right now as they're going backwards. It is 2nd down and 35 from their own 5. They've got to get to the 40-yard line for a first down. I formation going to be ran by the Wildcats. Under center is Riley. And they're going to run it with Pesic, and Pesic's going to get a big hole. He's up to the 15, lowers the boom up to the 17, and that play's been there all night. And it's going to bring up.
Well, he's carried the ball only 3 times, but every carry has been in excess of 10 yards, 14, 13, and 12.
So 3rd and manageable here. They were 2nd in Richmond, Missouri, home of Ron and Nan Dunham. They're not even listening tonight because they're down in Bolivar watching their granddaughter. So wide receiver to the left, wide receiver to the right. I formation in the backfield, 3rd and long for the Wildcats. And Riley is under center. They're going to go right up the middle for Reynolds, and Reynolds is going to get about 5 up to the 20. Back to the original line of scrimmage, and the Cats are going to have to punt it away. So, ugly 3rd quarter so far for the Wildcats, and they're going to have to punt it away here. Pitzenbarger is going to stand at midfield right on that big mule there at midfield. Of course, Warrensburg, home of the UCM Mules and Jennies. And the kick by the Cats bounces at about the 38-yard line. Cats blow it dead at the 40. Another flag on the play as this crew has thrown the laundry tonight. Morris Vance with the kick. We'll see what they call here. The sideline warning on the Wildcats. So, Tigers have the football on the Wildcat side of the field at the Wildcat 40.
That's like the 20th flag on both teams all night long. I mean, that's just a lot of laundry.
So, 1st and 10 from the 40. 2 wide receivers to the far side, 1 to the near side on the left. And they're going to hand it off, and through the first hole is the Warrensburg Tigers. About a 7-yard gain. Is that Cowlick again? That is Cowlick with the carry, about 5. They're going to give him 6. And it brings up 2nd down and manageable for Warrensburg down to the Wildcat 34-yard line.
And they're pretty even between Cowlick and Moore as far as rushes. I mean, not one carries a lot more than the other, and each one of them has an opportunity to get some yardage.
So, again, that shotgun formation again. This time, Nappy going to keep it himself. He's inside the 30, down to about the 25-yard line as Poisel makes the tackle, along with Carruthers, brings up a 1st and 10 down to the 26. If you're the Cats, you got to get a stop here or force them to a field goal. This has been an ugly third quarter for Harrisonville, and you want to get to the fourth quarter down either a point or less. If point or a touchdown, you don't want it to be an 8 or 9 point game going into the fourth. 1 minute to go here in the fourth. Shotgun formation again, Nappy. He's going to hand off for Calic. He goes nowhere, but ends up falling forward back to the line of scrimmage. Brings up a 2nd down and 10 as we approach the end of the third quarter. Warrensburg going to have to snap it at least one more time. Cats trying to keep them in long situations here so that it'll be a 4th down and long and not a 4th and manageable. So Warrensburg comes to the line of scrimmage, and when they have this lineup like this, 3 wide receivers, when they go in that motion and then they go to the counter, this time they're going to pitch it this way. Cats have the position on it inside the 25, and thrown down is Moore. Great pursuit by the Wildcats. Brody Rogers was not letting Miles Moore get anywhere on that one as he had that one and rode it out all the way. Moore going to go to the fourth quarter. He's going to field that one. It'll be 3rd down and 10 when we come back. 1 quarter to go. Cats down 7-6.
We've all been there before. Needed to deposit a check in our account, but nowhere near our bank. That's where Hawthorne's Bank's mobile banking comes in. Simply open your mobile banking app, take a picture of the check, and presto, the check's been deposited. Hawthorne Bank has the big bank convenience with small town roots. So if you want a friendly, quick, and convenient service in a hometown bank, go see our friends at Hawthorne Bank next to Troby's on Plaza Drive.
All right, we got 12 minutes on the clock. We go to the fourth quarter. Warrensburg leads at 7-6. Knocking on the door again. They are at the 26-yard line of the Wildcats. It'll be a 3rd down, and on the scoreboard they have it on 11 yards to go. Cats just trying to hold them either a turnover of downs or to a field goal attempt here, and actually it'll be 3rd. They got it marked about 3rd and about 6. So, 3rd down.
Well, that didn't seem right.
That does not seem right, but nobody has said anything on.
Because I thought it was more like 10 or 11, and I think that's what it is. And it says 11 yards to go, but they've got the markers.
They got the markers 5 yards off.
They've got the markers. That's exactly right.
So they're going to go pitch it back to Moore.
Pass.
And he's going to throw it wide open. Touchdown, Warrensburg. Cats were sleeping, and it is 13-6. Pitzenbarger caught the pass. Moore threw it, and Warrensburg up 13-6. This extra point.
Well, I guess it doesn't make any difference because it made whether it was 6 yards or 11 yards, it doesn't make any difference now. But they did not have it set up correctly.
Yeah, they had it off by 5 yards. Going to bring up an extra point attempt, making an 8-point game, and they missed it. So that's a big break for the Cats. Remains a 7-point game, 13-6, just starting fourth quarter. We'll be right back.
Every team has the same characteristics, including having each other's back. That's the motto the team at Schroeder Chiropractic lives by. With 2 chiropractors, 3 therapists, and an amazing office staff, they got your back. They will take care of your aches and pains and have you feeling like new in a warm, family-friendly environment. Schroeder Chiropractic has the community's back as well, being actively involved in bright futures in Harrisonville youth sports. Whether it's aches and pains or getting involved in the community, Schroeder Chiropractic has your back.
All right, this game has been there for the taking for the Wildcats all night long. This is where they need to put together a drive and see what happens. 11:55 to go, 13-6. Warrensburg leads by 7. Missed the extra point. Knowles and Tarwater back from their own 10. And remember, the Sonic Kick return contest is in effect. If the Cats return this kick or any kick in the game, Michelle Helt from Harrisonville will win a $100 Sonic gift card. She wins a $5 one just for playing. And here goes the kick, high end over end kick. And this one's going to be taken at the 5 by the Cats. Knowles to the 15 to the 20, right up the middle, and he is hammered at about the 23-yard line. And that's where the Cats will take over. Like to see a little bit of change up on this drive with the Cats here. See if they can get something going. Maybe a first down bubble screen or maybe a little toss out of the backfield by the Wildcats. Just something to change it up in this drive. So 11:48 to go in the fourth. Cats trail 13-6, led 6-0 at halftime. Warrensburg 13 unanswered points in the second half. Riley under center, wide receiver to the left, wide receiver to the right. I formation. And Riley going to hand it off for Reynolds, and Reynolds goes nowhere, loses a couple of yards. Going to bring up second down and 12. So 11:40 to go. Right now, Warrensburg just kind of pinning their ears back, knowing what's coming, and they're going right after the ball carrier on each and every down.
Yeah, I imagine they're probably at least two people are spying him at least, because of all the plays, there's only 4 other plays that have been running plays other than to Reynolds, and then they've had about another 7 passing plays.
So second down and long coming up for the Cats, and now some miscommunication by the Cats, and they're going to have to burn a timeout. So that is their first timeout. 11:05 to go in the fourth. We'll take a timeout as well.
This is Gary Davidson, and if you're looking for an honest, reliable heating and cooling company, look to where I look, Sherwood Heating and Cooling. Owner David Vogt has 25 years of industry experience and has been in business the last 10 years in Garden City. They're a Carrier equipment dealer and can provide ductwork, design communicating equipment, and thermostats for new homes. Not to mention servicing all makes and models of furnaces and air conditioners in the Bates, Cass, and Henry County area. Whether you're looking to upgrade to a more efficient equipment like me or need something repaired, give Sherwood Heating and Cooling a call at 816-862-6610.
All right, Cats going to go shotgun this time on second down and 12. And they're going to go in motion with Percival. They're going to hand it off to Percival. No, they're going to pass it down the sideline. Reynolds to the 40, and he's got one man to beat, and that man is Moore, and Moore trips him up. But a big gain for the Wildcats. And they changed it up there, went shotgun, and they got a big chunk of yardage close to midfield.
27-yard reception.
So Reynolds with a 27-yard reception makes it 1st and 10 up to the 48-yard line. This is what the Cats, they got to build on this now. So 10:45 to go here in the fourth, and the Cats trail by 7. Wide receiver to your left, wide receiver to your right, back to that I formation. And this time they're going to hand off for Reynolds, and nowhere to go as 3 guys right there on the ball as soon as he is touching the football, as Gary just mentioned moments ago. That, you know, they're spying several guys, and they are not fooled by the run of the Wildcats. Something else with Trevor Campbell out. They're running to that same side of the line a lot tonight as well, where they can't flip-flop it or switch sides. So 2nd and 11 coming up. Wide receiver to your left, wide receiver right. Cecil out here to the left side, I formation on second down and long. And this time they go through for Pesic, and Pesic's going to have a first down, and that's been there all night, that 10 and 11-yard gain. And he's got, I think that's his 5th carry, and I think he's had over 10 every single carry.
4th carry.
So 4 carries and over 40 yards, as he's had 10 yards on each. And that pushes it down to the 41. That's a Troby's Maytag Home Appliance Center first down. Think Troby's first when you think home appliances.
4 carries for 51 yards.
So here we go, wide receiver left, wide receiver to the right, I formation down to the 41 of Warrensburg. Cats trying to drive to tie it up. Hand off for Reynolds, and Reynolds has a hole inside the 40, dives down at about the 31-yard line. Now, interesting spot on that far side. Going to be about a half yard short. It was where his knee went down. It looked like he was diving forward. Momentum would have given him another yard or so. Second down and short for the Cats. Ball inside the 35, placed at the 32, almost 31-yard line. Knowles to the far side. Near side is Cecil. I formation. On second down, they're going to give it to Reynolds, and Reynolds is going to maybe have it. We'll see where they mark him. Be a short gain if so. Got it at the 31. Then he moved it backwards and decided it'll be third down and short now. So Percival comes into the game along with Crowley. And again, the Cats just seem out of sorts on offense as they're trying to figure out what play with just 15 seconds to go on the play clock. They're going to have to hurry to the line. Knowles going to be to the near side now. They're going to go with a jumbo formation here, and Crowley going to take it. And
that's going to be illegal procedure because the back was moving to get set because you had, I think Tarwater was under center actually.
You got to call a timeout in that situation. You knew from the start as they were going in that there was something amiss because Crowley kept looking to the side, Now you had a third and short with less than a yard to go, and now it's 3rd and 6. And you're in that situation because you have a penalty. You've got to be able to cut those down. And being this late in the year, those are mistakes you can't afford to have. We're 1-4 of your game 6 of the season, and you got 3 more after tonight. Those are penalties you see in the first and second week, not in week number 6. They're going to go 2 wide receiver set to the far side. Under center is Riley. He's going to have to hurry it here on 3rd down and 6. He's looking to pass. Throws it out in the flats. Percival, he's going to catch it, but he's going to be about a yard short. And I know what they were doing there. They're thinking it's 4-down territory regardless. So now a 4th down. Let's see what 4th down play the Cats have up their sleeve here with about 7:40 to go in this one. So 4th and about a yard. They need to get to the 31.
It's a long yard.
It is a long yard and a little bit more. And it looks like they're going to go to that. They're going to punt. And now Harrisonville going to call a timeout. We'll call a timeout as well. 7:16 to go here in the 4th.
There is no better way to get in touch with other business owners and potential clients than joining the Harrisonville Area Chamber of Commerce. Come to monthly networking events and grow your business and make new friends. The Chamber is booking now for booths at the Log Cabin Festival October 4th and 5th. So give Bing and the staff a call today and get signed up for all the fun. 816-380-5271.
All right, 4th down and about a yard coming up. Ball at the 32-yard line. They need to get to the 31 to get a first down and keep this drive rolling. Cats have burnt now 2 timeouts. Close game like this, you would probably like some timeouts left in your back pocket. Now the Cats are only down 2-1 here, and they're still on the sideline talking it over. And here they come out. So a big 4th down coming up for the Cats. Riley going to be under center. He's got a wide receiver to the left, wide receiver to the right, I formation. Expected a different formation maybe out of the timeout. But here we go on 4th down and 1. And they're going to give it to Reynolds, and Reynolds is going to not get there. Warrensburg going to hold, and it's going to be 1st and 10 for the Tigers from their own 32-yard line. So 7:11 to go. Cats trail 13-6. And I will say, we're looking back at the replay. Jace would have cut back right there at that last second. He would have had that. No, they closed pretty good. That's pretty good defense on Warrensburg as I was looking back at the replay. I thought maybe he could have cut back there, but there was no hole to cut back on. That was just good defense by the Tigers. And Jace got about a length of the football on that, but nevertheless, Warrensburg now a chance to make it a 2-score game late in the ball game. This is what they did in the district championship game, and the Cats were not able to recover, getting that 2-score lead. Miles is going to run it, and Miles Moore not going to go anywhere. Taken down by Hagen Stevenson, going to bring up 2nd down and 10 as they run that. They run it with that Wildcat formation, so Miles Moore going to give him a couple of yards on that one. Didn't look like he got any yardage, and it'll bring up 2nd down and 9. So 2nd and 9 coming up. Back to the shotgun formation. They're going to go in motion with Moore. They're going to hand it off to Moore. Moore cuts inside, gets a couple, and is
got a flag on the opposite side of the field too.
That one might be just illegal procedure on the Cats or on the Tigers. We'll see here. With it being right on the line of scrimmage like that. Illegal shift. Let's say with it being on the line of scrimmage like that, I figured there was something in there. Bring up a 2nd down and about 14 with 6:15 to go. Ball at the 28-yard line at their own 28. The 2nd down coming up. 6:10 to go here in the 4th. Bring the team to the line of scrimmage. They're going to go with that shotgun formation. The 2 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. Running back in the backfield. They're going to go in motion with Moore. They're going to fake the pitch, and they go to that counter. And the Cats had it read perfectly and bring him down quickly. Brings up 3rd down. So Pittsburgh with the carry that time, and the Cats had that misdirection. They were not fooled that time. And a 3rd down and long coming up, so the Cats need a stop here on 3rd down to get the ball back. 5:29 to go here in.
If they hold them here to short yardage, they might get pretty good field position coming out of the punt, which they've really not been getting this whole half.
Yeah, good field position would be good for the Cats. They got to get a stop here on 3rd down, shotgun formation. And they're going to fake it now. Nappy going to go, and he's going to get close to a 1st down. He's not going to have it. He's going to get about the 38-yard line, 39. Be about 3 yards short. I don't think they're going to chance going for it here. That'd be way too good a field position for the Wildcats. And the ball came out, and the Cats have the ball. I did not even see that happen. Let's look at it at the end of this one. So the Wildcats get a fumble recovery, and they're going to have it at the 38. I'm going to watch the replay here. And he comes through there. And I'm not sure where the ball – it looks like the ball was back here when Nappy fell backwards. And actually that wasn't even – I don't believe – was that Nappy that even carried that? That might have been Moore as well. Nevertheless, Cats have their best field position of the half and a chance to try to tie this ball game up down to the 39 of the Tigers. 2 wide receivers near side, left side. I formation in the backfield. Under center is River Riley. He hands off for Reynolds, and Reynolds loses a yard. Going to bring up 2nd and 11. Actually, they're going to mark him about 2 yards, so he's going to lose 2 on that. It's 2nd and 12 coming up. So 2nd down and 12 coming up. 4:30 to go here, 4th quarter. Cats trail 13-6. Riley gets a play from the sideline. Knowles comes out. It'll be Cecil and Percival on the near side. 2nd and 12 coming up. Under center is Riley. And they're going to hand it off for Reynolds. And Reynolds into the secondary. Inside the 30, down to the 29. They'll probably mark him at the 32 with 4 minutes to go. They're going to mark him at about just inside the 30. Sorry, some of the spots this game, Jerry, have frustrated me. So, inside the 30.
We're at 3rd and 1 again, almost where we were in the last series when we had the illegal procedure or illegal motion, I think what it ended up was. So now we need to come out of this, get a first down, and move on down the field.
So 3rd down and short coming up. And they're going to hand it to Reynolds, and Reynolds inside the 25-yard line. So he's going to get 5 on that one. And that was all
Chase Reynolds.
Chase Reynolds with the carry there, 5 yards, moves it down to the 25 with 3:23 to go. That's the Troby's Maytag Home Appliance Center first down. Think Troby's first when you think home appliances. So ball to the 25. It'll be a 1st and 10. Fresh set of downs for the Cats. Knowles and Riley come to the huddle here. Talk things over. Get a play going. Ball at the 25-yard line. Pesic and Reynolds, 2 wide receivers, near sideline on the left. Knowles and Percival, 1st and 10. They're going to look to pass, and Riley goes nowhere. He is hammered to the turf down at the 35-yard line. They're going to mark him at the 32. So the last 3 yards comes on where his forward progress was stopped. So 2nd down and 17. I like going with a play call as a pass on 1st down, but Warrensburg was ready for it that time. So 2:25 to go. Clock is ticking here on the Cats. 2 wide receivers out to the near side, and here we go. This time again for Pesic. He gets to the outside, to the 20, to the 15, close to a 1st down. You're going to talk about a big run on 2nd down by the sophomore. Pesic gave it to him there. Brings up a 3rd and about 2. You know it's 4-down territory here. So this makes it way more manageable for the Cats as the ball down to the 17-yard line. The light keeps going off in here in the other room, but it's because everybody's sitting so still that it keeps shutting off. It's a motion light. So 3rd and 2 coming up. Under center is Riley. And here they go, and they're going to hand off for Reynolds. And Reynolds inside the 15, enough for a 1st down to the 14. That is a Troby's Maytag Home Appliance Center 1st down. Think Troby's first when you think home appliances. You got to get in the end zone first, Gary, but given the kicking woes of the Wildcats this year, do you maybe think going for 2 and trying to win the ball game here? Let's see what happens.
I was going to say, let's get in the end zone first, and then we can cuss and discuss it, and then find out what the answer is.
So ball down at the 14-yard line, and here we go. And this one's again an inside handoff, but there's a flag on the field at the 19-yard line. False start on the Wildcats. At least it wasn't a hold, so it's only a 5-yard variety.
That's the 14th penalty on the Cats.
Let's see it here. I don't know if they were.
I did not see.
I don't think Percival was on the line of scrimmage. I think he needed to be on the line maybe. I don't know what they were calling there. Nevertheless, it's 1st and 15 now. And the Cats going to hand off for Reynolds, and Reynolds cuts back into traffic, stays on his feet inside the 15. They're going to mark him down. It'll be 2nd down and 10. 1 minute to go. Cats going to let that clock roll, but they're going to have to go with a little bit more urgency here on 2nd down and 11.
And those timeouts you talked about, we're only down to 1 timeout now. So, and if you get a 1st down, it'll stop. But I mean, we're at 40 seconds and counting, and we've got 15 yards to go and only 1 timeout. So.
Remember we talked about Tarwater hasn't played much offense. They've got him flanked out to the right side this time on 2nd down, and they're going to look to throw it that way to him. Back foot, touchdown! Braden Tarwater, and it is a 13-12 game with 28 seconds to go. I just said it. They hadn't put him in there, and the back shoulder throw to Tarwater. He gets in, and the extra point coming up here. Now, this is, if I'm the Cats, this is where I use my last time out and decide what you want to do. And that's what looks like they're going to go for it here for 2. They don't have a kicker in the football game right now. They're going to go with that wild formation here. And now we got a whistle and a timeout. Warrensburg with 28 seconds to go. So we'll take a timeout as well. A lot to discuss when we come back.
Every broadcast team has to look good. The 4T's crew is no different. That's why we trust C-Squared Embroidery and Screen Printing to outfit us for each broadcast, offering full-service screen printing, embroidery, promotional products, banners, and more. They can take care of you. When you're looking for a company to make that next shirt, stop looking and call C-Squared Embroidery and Screen Printing at 660-885-2447 or find them on Facebook or Instagram.
You know, there's the old adage, you win as a team, you lose as a team. Kennedy Atkins not a normal field goal kicker. He's not your normal kicker. He was kind of pressed into duty this year. He's been injured. I don't put that pressure on one kid to make a kick just to tie it.
Well, we don't have to talk about it because obviously River Riley's in there, so they're going for two, and they're setting up real weird. This is the way they've done it in the past, and we'll see how it is defended.
So here we go. Riley looking to throw it. He throws it again to Tarwater, and Tarwater's in, and the Cats lead by a point, 14-13 with 28 seconds to go. The same play, or should I say the same route by Tarwater there, able to get the ball in, and the Cats lead 14-13. That touchdown was brought to you by Young's Auto Repair. Let them put that special touch on your car and make sure that it is running correctly.
We're watching the replay here, and it's a good throw by Riley. Put it where he needed to, and then obviously Tarwater did the rest as far as spinning around, getting the ball over the goal line. So
now you got to play defense. Warrensburg's got 2 timeouts to work with. You know they got to get inside the 20 at least to even try for a field goal. So you want a good kick here by Knowles, and you want to tell Knowles, kick it hard as you can right down the middle of the field. Bounce it down the middle of the field if you need to, but do not kick it out of bounds.
I remember in 2013, the 2013-14 year, we kicked it. I kick it out of bounds and let them take it to the 35-yard line and let them do, because there's so much that's going to happen on a kickoff. I kick the thing out of bounds and say to heck with it, because we've not got the kicker that can kick it through the end zone.
2013, Raytown South. After you
just made a touchdown.
Zach Davidson led the team down, got the go-ahead touchdown in districts. That was the first round of districts. And Raytown South returned a kick for a touchdown and beat the Wildcats. So, and Moore can definitely do that with his speed. And there we go, high end over end kick, going to bounce in about the 20. And you got to make your tackles here. Moore waiting for some room, gets up to the 35 and going to fall forward to the 37. But the good news is that ran a lot of clock as well. Down to 20 seconds for the Tigers, down by a point.
And I want to go back. I don't think that was Tarwater. I think that was Knowles that caught that 2-point conversion over there. I was looking at it on the replay, but I couldn't really make it out for sure. And I don't want to take credit away from Knowles, but I don't want to give it to Tarwater if it was Knowles. So
the only reason I think it was Tarwater is because Tarwater's got sleeves and Knowles doesn't. I thought that there were sleeves over there because I could not remember. Oh, here we go. Jerry will let us know here real fast. That's the advantage of instant replay. So we'll let you look at that. It is 1st and 10 from their own 37. Nappy going to have to pass. He throws it out in the flats. Almost picked off. And then
we're going to do a flea flicker.
They were going to, and it went right through our hands right there, which is crazy. Brings up 2nd and 10 with 17 seconds to go in the ball game. And this is where you got to pull out all your stops. You're down by a point. You got to have those plays in the bag you haven't even used this year. So 17 seconds on the clock. Shotgun formation again here. Nappy in the backfield, 2 wide receivers to the left, 2 to the right. Cats playing deep off the ball, trying to keep everything in front of them. Almost a sack, and now Nappy going to have to run with it, and he's going to be taken down at about the 45-yard line with 8 seconds to go, and a timeout called by the Tigers. And here's that play. We'll see as we're going to look on the replay here. And you were right. He was absolutely right. That was Colby Knowles on the 2-point conversion catch. So good eyes by Mr. Davidson here to catch that one.
Well, it was because of replay. It wasn't because of good eyes. I just
you saw it, though, and you were able to, I think that was – so let's reset things for you here. 14-13, Cats lead by a point, went for 2 after the touchdown, was able to get it. They lead by a point over the Warrensburg Tigers on their homecoming, on their home field. They've got to get at least another 45 yards probably to get a comfortable shot at a field goal. Only 8 seconds to do it in one timeout. If I'm the Cats and you see it, they got 4 guys playing about 20 yards off of the ball. But that's dangerous in itself because Moore is such a quick player.
Yeah, you leave quickness out in the open space, it's hard. It is hard to control them or contain it.
So here we go on 3rd down, and Nappy going to just let it go. And the Cats have a chance at an interception, but they knock it down with 1 second to go. And one more tick, it'll be 4th down. So this is the last play of the ball game. There are way too many 4s on that scoreboard, Gary Davidson. It is 4th and 4 in the 4th quarter from the 44. And there is 1 second on the clock.
But the biggest 4 up there is the 4 with the 14 rather than the 3 with the 13.
Absolutely. So it all comes down to this. 4th down, Cats trying to hold off. Warrensburg moved to 2-0 in conference, 2-4 overall, and atop the MRVC West. So we will go with the 4th down shotgun coming up. We'll see what they got in their bag of tricks. And the little flea flicker down the sideline. Nowhere to go. Driven into the ground by Percival. The Cats are going to win it. Your final 14-13. Harrisonville with the win. Unbelievable play calling at the end by the Wildcats. Gets them a touchdown and a 2-point conversion, and they pull out the victory. We'll take a timeout. We'll be back with your post-game show after this. Cats survive 14-13.
Looking for a new modern-style place for your wedding? One that won't break the bank? We've got good news for you. Harrisonville's newest event space, the Uptown Event Space, is now booking for events for the holidays and next year. Located across from the Old Cass Medical Center, there's ample parking and space for your next big party, complete with private rooms for the bride and groom to get ready, a kitchen area, and a full catering available. It's time to go to Uptown and book your next event today. Buying a house is a full-time job in itself. Why not take the work out of finding your dream home? Go see Carol Looney and her staff at American Heritage Realtors today. Locally owned and members of the community, American Heritage is sure to help you find everything you need in a new home. With insight to local schools, parks, and neighborhoods, they'll match you with everything you want for your dream home. So when the time comes to buy or sell, call American Heritage Realtors at 816-380-6161 or visit them today online at americanheritage-realtors.com.
It's important to have a local bank. Sherwood Community Bank is the area's only locally owned bank. It's nice when your local bank is also up with the times and provides you with internet banking and a mobile banking app. We are all so busy, so sometimes being able to jump online or use an app to transfer funds at the click of a button is the easiest way to bank. So go to one of Sherwood Bank's 4 convenient locations in Urick, Creighton, Garden City, or Harrisonville and set up an account today.
And don't forget to download the Sherwood Bank app.
Want the best deal from the best dealership? Max Motors Ford, right in Harrisonville, Missouri. We make deals the others won't. More for your trade, less for your new one. Worth the drive from anywhere. We will beat any competitor's offer on a new vehicle by $500 or give you $500 and a tank of gas. With a great selection of over 800 vehicles priced at or below dealer cost. Come see why Max Ford in Harrisonville is the easiest place to buy a car. Visit us at the corner of 71 and 291 highways or shop maxford.com. Proud to sponsor our Harrisonville Wildcats.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back. Your final score tonight, 14-13. Your Harrisonville Wildcats beat the Warrensburg Tigers in dramatic fashion. They methodically drove down on that last drive of the ball game and were able to punch it in and get the 2-point conversion for the win. You know, we talked about it, Gary. And Gary's over here. He's finishing up his stats. I'll talk to Gary about it. But me and Gary were talking about it. Well, if they score, what do you do? And I was like, are you going to go for 2? And Gary says, well, let's wait and see if they score. Well, they scored. They went for 2, and it was the same route but a different receiver, and Knowles was able to get into the end zone for the 2-point conversion to give the Cats that cushion they needed for the win. And this is a character-building win for the Wildcats. It was the ugliest second half of football you will see. and able to actually come out with a victory, as ugly as that second half was. Gary will get in here with some stats. Again, it's your post-game show brought to you by our post-game headquarters. Everybody back at Forged by Fire in Harrisonville watching. If you're headed back home, maybe catch an appetizer on the way home at Forged by Fire, your Wildcat headquarters. Celebrate these Wildcats. And, Gary, you know, you don't apologize for wins. You never do. And kind of like the Chiefs last Sunday.
That's where I was going.
They did not play well, but they got it done. And if you're the Wildcats, you had a lot of mistakes, but you were able to win. You don't ever apologize for a win.
Yeah, how many series did we get the ball and went backwards because of penalties? I mean, we ended up having I think like 14 or 15 penalties for over about 125 yards. I mean, that 125 yards is hard to make up whenever you're trying to score points. And there was like 2 or 3 series there in the second half that, I mean, we just went backwards in a negative or zero yardage. I mean, the first time we had it, we had a total of net 7 yards. The second time we had it, a net negative 20 yards, and the third time was a net 0. So the first 3 series, we had a total of negative 13 yards. You don't win ball games doing that. So you're right. If you can come out and take a win from this, and not play like you normally would like to play, you take a win when you can get it.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. And I just look at this whole entire game, and we talked about it. You look at late third quarter, early fourth quarter, there was frustration from us, and I'm sure frustration on the sidelines as well, as they were keying on Jace Reynolds. You got to give that kid a lot of credit down the stretch, because when they needed those 5 and 6 yard carries, he was getting them whether he had a hole or not. So give that sophomore all the credit in the world. Again, close to 200 yards on the night. That's coming commonplace for this kid, and he gets those hard yards, not just those big 70 and 80 yard touchdown runs.
Yeah, he'll get a few of those 80 yards, which will help increase his yards per carry and stuff like that. But if you look through the stat sheet, I mean, he carried the ball 31 times tonight. 31 times. One play was 86 yards. So actually, 30 times, 30 other carries, he only got 100 yards. So, I mean, you're looking a little over 3 yards, almost 4 yards a carry, and those are a lot with yards after contact, multiple contacts that he gets. He fights for every yard he gets, and I will take my hat off to him for every week that he really works. He's the workhorse for them.
Well, and another thing, okay, so we talked about it. Some of those penalties first half, we thought maybe with the different cadence with River back in there. The passes weren't crisp from River tonight. Everything felt just a little bit off with River. Maybe now having a full week of practice this next coming week, you've got your rival coming to town next week in Pleasant Hill. You're 2-4. You're riding a 2-game winning streak. You're 2-0 in conference, and we'll see what happens next week. Maybe you even get Trevor Campbell back on the line. We don't know, but nevertheless, you got good win for the Wildcats.
It is, and if you get Trevor back next week, or you get him back the week after that, then hopefully you'll have Kennedy Atkinson back within a couple of games, and so then you're going to almost have your full complement of weapons offensively, and again, that carries over into the defense because a lot of these players play both ways, and so the depth allows you less time on the field and a little bit more breath towards the fourth quarter, and that's one of the things that you got to look for. So it's going to really help if we can get everybody back and healthy.
And if we can, we'll see if Jerry pops up the scoreboard. We'll see if we can get some of the scores from around. Obviously, Odessa was all over Excelsior Springs, so they're going to move to 2-0, and then you had the other game in there as well, which would have been Oak Grove and Pleasant Hill, which both have lost a game. So it'll be Harrisonville and Odessa all on 2-0 in the conference.
And it very well could end up at the end of the year, could be your unbeatens, hopefully, at least on our side, and that would be for the conference championship and also be a big part of going into district play.
Absolutely, and you don't win the trophies in September, Gary.
Win them in November, absolutely. Let me run down some stats real quick. Chase Reynolds ended up, I kind of already referred to this, with 31 carries for 191 yards, Hunter Fishley, almost a 200-yard mark. Some of my plays may have been a little bit off. I'd love to see him been able to make it over the 200-yard mark. Pesic, who has not been carrying the ball, he'd been carrying a lot of the load blocking, only had 5 carries. But every one of those carries were in excess of 10 yards, up to the 15 yards, had 5 carries, total of 66 yards, one big one towards the very end of the game. So those really made it, those yards really made a huge difference. Passing, Knowles had 1 catch for 13 yards, Tarwater 1 for 15, Cecil had 2 catches for 22 yards, and Reynolds also had another 31 yards. So his total offensive production was over 200 yards, getting up to close to 250 yards because he had 2 catches for 31 yards. Scoring for the Wildcats, going right into the half with 15 seconds left, they scored in the first half. Chase Reynolds on an 86-yard touchdown run made the conversion was not good, and so they made the score 6-0 going into half. Then in the fourth quarter, right before the end of the game, with 28 seconds left, 15-yard touchdown reception by Tarwater with a 2-point conversion by Knowles. Like you said, same kind of play, put the Cats up 14-13. The scoring for them came in the third and the fourth quarter, where they had couple of different receptions, which put them up 7, and then to 13-0 when they missed the conversion there with 11:55 left in the fourth quarter, and that was their 13 points. We had a 245 yards total rushing, 85 yards passing, with a total of 330 yards, with a total time of possession of the clock of 26 minutes and 30 seconds to Warrensburg's 21:30, and they had a total of 264 yards. You're right. If you can take out a win on a game that you didn't play well, then now let's take out a win next week that you do play well.
Absolutely. Cats get the revenge from the 2 losses last year. They moved to 2-4. We might start seeing the fruits of that tough schedule down the stretch where they're winning these close football games now. We'll see what happens. Obviously, my max effort player of the game, brought to you by Max Ford of Harrisonville. Who do you go with? I gotta really scramble my brain here, but no, I'm being facetious.
Almost 250 yards of offense. Where else can you go?
Yeah.
But you've got to credit the line. The line, they're also out of linemen tonight. Hopefully he'll be back next week. But, you've got to credit the line for their blocking. You've got to credit, obviously, Pesic for, him as well, adding to that blocking, because that extra back in the backfield helps open the holes as well.
So I think you guys know who we're talking about. Jace Reynolds with the player of the game. And then my teammate of the game. Go ahead.
I'd like to go Pesic on this one because, again, he only had 5 carries, but 66 yards, a lot of, and plus, like I was just saying, he and the line both did a lot to help Chase Reynolds get that 191 to almost 250 yards total offense.
Well, right. Yeah, I would go with Pesic. I was scrambling my brain, which one you go. I'm going to go with Pesic. I'll give an extra shout out, though, to the defensive line tonight. All those guys up front, Brody Rogers, Keegan Rowe. We were calling their name all night long, Carson Graff, and even Poisel in there, even though he plays more of a linebacker position. Those guys contained Miles Moore. I don't know what his total yardage was tonight, but between the yards we needed from Pesic and then Miles Moore being shut down.
Miles Moore had 38 yards on 16 carries. Pitzenberger had 39 yards on 6 carries, and Cowlick had 49 yards on 13 carries. So, and Nappy had a few carries for a total of 36 yards. So he held everybody under 50. They held everybody under 50 yards and a total of 160 yards total offense, which I don't think that has been the trend for the football program of Warrensburg in the first 5 games.
Absolutely, over 600 yards rushing for Miles Moore in those first 5 games. But anyway, back to our teammate of the game, brought to you by our teammates in insurance, and that is insurance teammates Lacey Dominic of Shelter Insurance and Cameron Chenoweth of American Family. Call, get a quote from them today. And, of course, our official outfitter, C-Squared Custom Embroidery. You can see that right on the side of Gary's shirt. And you can see our shirts here. They do a great job. They take care of us. Larissa's back behind the camera, but she's got on our fancy pullovers that'll keep us warm when we're outside. So we got to love that. Bottom line, you get a victory. You move to 2-4, 2-0 in conference. Got your rivals coming to town next Friday. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, and there's nothing like the Cass County clash between Pleasant Hill and Harrisonville. You can throw out the records when they get together. It doesn't make any difference what the records are. It's always going to be a good game.
Absolutely. So if you see right back here, back behind Gary, that is Mr. Jerry Forschler. And for Jerry Forschler, for Gary Davidson, for Larissa Lamb behind the camera over there, I'm Chad Grammer saying good night from Warrensburg. We'll see you next Friday night in Harrisonville.